Good afternoon here as we head towards the weekend. We head towards the close. Yeah, the live stream just coming online here for this roundtable event. So he's at the same location. The event that happened this morning, he made the speech and then did a Q&A with Spelman College in Georgia. So this afternoon, there's going to be a roundtable discussion. I was just seeing it's him plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other individuals. So how much we actually hear from Fetcher Powell here this afternoon might be limited overall, but I'll keep an eye out for anything as far as market-moving headlines are concerned. As far as what to have a look at this afternoon, we're keeping an eye on Tesla, obviously coming off the big event this time yesterday afternoon. We get the Cybertruck. I was actually watching a few reviews. There's all kinds of reviews out already on the Cybertruck, and there's some interesting points, including very sharp edges, apparently. So the actual stainless steel panels that were used on the Cybertruck are stamped. So it's stainless steel that they put into a big press, they stamp it, and then it comes out in the piece that they need. But apparently the edges are very, very sharp. So anyways, CRM, nice day here, 3.3% to the upside, trying to get back above 260 right now. But 2 days in a row here. For CRM. There it is, 3.5 right now for that one. Everything else, pretty green, right across the board here outside Google, Microsoft, Meta, 1.4, 1.4 to the downside here, offsetting some of the other positivity we're seeing in that group today, including Amazon, still positive, Walmart downside, Home Depot up nicely, almost 2% to end the week there for some retail strength as well. There's Tesla, 0.8. Under pressure, UNH under pressure. Pfizer on that note this morning, if you missed it, they're shelving their twice daily weight loss drug, not going to continue to a phase 3, the second time that has happened. So we will talk about that, I'm sure. Berkshire here down as well, 1.1%. Obviously a difficult week for them. Banks, though, outside of Berkshire, pretty strong to end the week. Everyone pointing towards lower interest rates, obviously. Could increase borrowing activity once again. That in itself could be good for the banking group overall. But yeah, I mean, we got a whole bunch of comments this morning from Fetcher Powell during this event, none of which we haven't heard in the past. Basically, they're data dependent and they are willing to and will act if they see anything turn for the worst, pointing to the possibility of more hikes possibly on the table. The market not buying that whatsoever. Still go out onto the longer-term CME Fed funds tool. It's still exactly the same as it was earlier in the week, but that's how the market is shaping up here on December 1st. Let's talk some Cybertruck action today, guys. 1.2% here for Tesla, continuing this kind of sell the news look for Tesla today.
Yes, sir. And it's been a wild afternoon, because to get back to 16,000 after the morning, the way the morning played out is pretty darn impressive for the market. Not everything is actually green today, though. Tesla, Tesla, there's a channel on the daily. Should actually start with a high time frame. When in doubt, zoom out. So start with a zoom out look of Tesla, which has been rejecting 250. So there's up top. It's sold off for 2 days going into today. And today has actually been, at least until now, it's been a pretty strong stock. I had a short early at 235. Wish I could tell you that I had reversed it along at 35 even. That was kind of a keystroke that I got out flat. And I had a breakout trade for about 50 cents that rejected up at the high. But this has been coming back in off the 240 level pretty much precipitously. Oddly enough, that's where we closed on, yesterday. I'm about to say on Thursday, but that is yesterday. So again, you are still stair-step to the downside, because if you want to take a step up, well, you have to break yesterday's close. So Tesla still in sell mode. The only thing I wanted to point out, though, with regards to this, is a lot of other EV names are really strong today. So Tesla might be down 1%, but like Lucid's up, Rivian's up 5%, Mullen's up. I have no idea what Polestar is doing. I think VinFast was up or something like that. Maybe it was. I didn't really look at it. But the other EV names have had really good days today coming off the bottoms. But Tesla still down 1%, rejecting yesterday's close at 240. I mean, you're in at 240, actually. Yeah, Sean's in it at 240. No, I can't see because my water bottle's blocking.
I can't see your picture, but I can see your trades as we go. Yeah, look, I mean, I was talking to some of the guys behind me, and I was talking to you guys on the chat. I came in on the midday show. We talked about Tesla 240 numerous times, and it's a $3 winner. So it is another one that we start stacking again here. But now you got to think about getting out. I mean, we didn't hold for the big move. So we've only got 20% left of this trade. And I was just looking at, now we can zoom in now that we see this, but wait for the move to happen. We were able to get some out there on the way back in on this pullback. Then and I was saying to some of the guys behind, and this is true of my trading, I think everybody's trading, it's like all you can do is make your best sort of educated guess on what the market and what some of these stocks actually want to do. So when we make this huge move up, and I said this already, wait for the extended move up. So we go back to yesterday's closing price of 240 right there, and that's where the short is. It's kind of that easy. And I kind of don't mean that trading is easy. It's that you gotta, if you're patient enough, sometimes these trades will work out for you and sometimes they will not. You'll see us always, not always, but sometimes you get run over going counter trend. And when the market's moving up like this, you are going counter trend the stock. But then I was just looking at the NASDAQ, and this is what I was trying to say, is that it's not necessarily ripping or anything like that. So I was never too much in fear, but if this did break, which is why we're starting to cover, that's why we get out of something, So if we can make it back down to VWAP, that looks like a good cover. That'd be $4 in the money. Other than that, I'm thinking about breaking it out 238. If we break higher than that, I feel like that's not a horrible spot. But hey, man, so far so good here with the Tesla short up there at 240, Cybertruck or not.
All right, let's talk Pfizer here. As I mentioned, coming on, we saw on the board there, Pfizer, pretty ugly day, although we did come well off the lows here, 28.50, 28.40, ends up holding still 4.6%. We get through that and then bounce a little bit here, but look at the volume. Tons and tons of sell pressure here today coming off this announcement this morning. If you missed it, again, or just joining a little late, they're going to shelve their twice-a-day weight loss drug. Second time they've had to go through this, but in a world, I mean, we were talking about that Ultimune this morning as well, in a world where it seems like everyone is going to have one of these at some point. Not a good look for Pfizer.
No, and like you said, they already did this before. They canceled one in June because it wasn't well tolerated by the study participants. They're going to reintroduce another one a day. It's based off the current formulation, just a lower dose. Apparently, that's expected to have less gastrointestinal issues with some of the study's participants, and that was really the main issue here, Brendo.
Yeah, here's that Ultimune, meanwhile, 25%, huge day upside for them.
Good for them, Ultimune. Not so good for Pfizer. The good news for Pfizer is at least it regained the 52-week low. So there's that, which was at 28.93. But this stock has been on a precipitous downward trajectory. I mean, I could draw some kind of a channel for you, but at some point it's like, who cares? It's not breaking the top of this channel anytime soon. So Pfizer this morning was a flat bottom break. It actually opened the day with the pre-market low being the 52-week low. So when it broke the bottom, it was essentially a flush. There was a buyer, and we were saying this in the morning show when it came in at about a couple of minutes in after the open. I forget exactly the time, but it got down to 9.35. There was some stacked bids and some buying. I got out of almost everything, held on the last 5%, and got out at break even. But it was like one move down. I'm kind of kicking myself for not thinking long here, but I was never thinking long in Pfizer, so I can't really kick myself that much. Because I wasn't thinking about a long bounce, but it did set one up off that same 28.30. I had in my mind ingrained the pandemic bottom, which was actually underneath 28 bucks. That was 27.80 something. And I thought maybe we could get down there, and then you could look for a long off the 2020 lows. But for Pfizer, the good news is it's back above 29 even. And that's the end of the good news. I do still think at some point, like if they figure this out, then there's a lot of room for this to get to the upside. It's just it's tricky if you try to go long-term technical on Pfizer when everything is tied to how this the one-a-day drug does, right? Like technicals will matter all you want, but all they need is to have that work, and then the stock could double. It's kind of crazy, but that's the reality. Until then, it's under pressure.
Man. I'm a little bit distracted here with Pfizer, obviously, but with Tesla. I just, Tesla right now, guys, I just tweeted it out that we have the 200 period right there at 238, but I kind of want to hold this one into the close. You know, we're starting to go under. What if we redo test VWAP? We're at 16,000 now on the NASDAQ. But at the same time, look how good this level looks like at 236. Ugh. So I don't know if we should just get out. I mean, you could always do the other part. Get out a half, get out of a quarter, get out of whatever you want. But it's coming up right into this 236 area. That is the support rate there, obviously. Also, we had it as resistance earlier when we bumped up and then fell back in to 231, 232. So if it falls into there, fine. I'm not going to sit there and take the fill. Let's see if it breaks it through. I did not put a stop yet. So just so you guys know, my stop on this trade is 240.30. So we're short at 240.08. So 30 cents worth of risk up there to get in the money 3. This is a 10-to-1 trade right now, but I'm going to put a stop. I'm going to stick with my guns. Gut, whatever. 238 right there. If we rip back up, let's get out at 238. Basically, the question I have to myself is that I was debating getting out right here at 236.50. So if we don't take that, fine. Hopefully we can drop back into here. I feel like the risk, if we break through VWAP and don't hold this level, then I could see us back down here near to 234, which would probably close the trade for me if we can get down to that spot. But hey, you know, it's Friday. We're about to have a little bit of fun. It's Christmas. I gotta you know, have it. We're all really happy about the podcast tonight happening, so that should be a good one. 238.
It's Christmas season, Fabian.
Yeah, Christmas season. Yeah, what did Fabian say?
He's like, Christmas? I heard that.
They don't celebrate Christmas in Chile there, Fabian, or what? I don't know. All right, here we go. Nice little downside move for this. We're going to get out at 238 if it breaks. That's the story. Oh, Pfizer. So Pfizer's my number 2 stock today. You guys know it early on. Remember early on I was like just in Microsoft and in Pfizer all morning? Well, now look what we're in. Now we're in Disney and Tesla. So 2 different names, right? You don't need to stay in the same names all day. This is what Pfizer was doing, though. Like Neil said, once it broke, and we're out of it. But there's the short break early at 29, all the way back in. We have the bottom of the day. You're going to have the bottom of the day when you trade like this because you're going to have so many outs. Then we resisted, and eventually we made that move back in until we broke that high of 30. So Pfizer for me is a no-brainer. Do we have Disney on that? We do not, but here's where I'm short Disney. We'll talk about that later. I've talking too much. What's up, guys?
Sure, yeah, I can do that. Housekeeping note, we will not be streaming the podcast today. Sorry. So show's going to end at 4. You can, however, get it tomorrow morning. Wherever you get your podcast, it will be there. This guy's going to be sitting beside me coming up at 4 o'clock. So watch out for that Saturday morning for the podcast. Let's go on. I was just noting, nice day here for crypto. We tagged 39,000 to the penny, and then a little bit of a pullback here, but nice day anyways, trying to break that top finally. Some of the stocks associated, here's Coinbase playing along nicely. Took out the highs there on the daily chart for Coin. I saw Mara was up there as well.
Yeah, Mara up 2 3/4. Coinbase knocking the door of 7% here. It's been really good for Bitcoin lately, making higher highs and higher lows in anticipation of that spot ETF. Could come anytime. We don't really know. What I do know, though, is one of the applicants was approached by the SEC with a question format, not an outright rejection. So that showed some dialogue here and some willingness for the SEC finally, after being forced by the courts to go through this.
Yeah, I was just seeing MicroStrategy as well here. Oh, it did take out the high. Pull back, though, a little bit. For MSTR, remember there was a debt raise for them going back to 2 days ago, I believe it was, for MSTR.
Bitcoin goes up and MicroStrategy goes up with it. Now, the only thing more impressive than Coinbase's run today is Affirm's, because why the heck not Affirm? We're gonna get to Affirm. I feel like we could have just thrown that anywhere in here. That stock is up another 8.5%. Look, you obviously had that test of 39,000 on Bitcoin. We should actually look at that chart first. Like, you had the test of 39,000, and you're holding the top end of the range here. If it breaks down, okay, maybe Coin's going to stop its run here. But if there is another push to the upside, you are now above the 131. It's actually flagging higher. So Coinbase, has a decent chance after breaking out on the daily through that 131 to continue going. You just got to watch out for Bitcoin. I said it, so I might as well show it very quickly here because we don't have a firm on the list. A firm is up, and now a firm's up 9.25%. I swear, I just looked, it was like 8.5%, like 2 minutes
Everything
ago.
is ripping for some reason, all these little stupid stocks.
Yeah, I got out of a firm too early as usual, yada, yada, yada. There's room to $40 on the daily chart for a firm, so maybe it's another one of those squeeze days for this name. Oh, and because we're not talking chips, we're at an inflection point in Intel again, that's at $44. So I'm looking to reload right here, actually, underneath 44 on INTC. But maybe a dip buy trade at 131 if we hold, if the BTC holds for Coinbase. Otherwise, I'm not really looking at them. I feel like I like Uber. I probably got to find a way. If the firm's just going to keep going up at some point, there's got to be some longs we can find in there. Again, what a ridiculous run that was. But as far as crypto goes, great day today, but didn't take a single trade in a crypto name.
No, me neither. We have one red stock today, and it's going to be AMD, so we can talk about that in a minute. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 and 1. All right, so someone just mentioned Carvana. Like, wow, congratulations if you nailed this one earlier. I mean, Carvana has been an absolute monster.
What? 13%?
Yeah, it's just crazy. And look at this on the daily chart. I mean, so this is going to be a play for me at some point next week for sure. If I feel like right now we might not. I mean, what is this? It's still 36. So see this top right there, 36.25 here on the daily. This right here. So again, this is not like get that garbage out of here because it's really not that much. It didn't spend too much time down there. And, you know, these lower levels are kind of just hanging out here. Obviously, if you were playing the 200 period, you would have absolutely loved that. And congratulations if you got that at 27 bucks. But here goes Carvana again. And I don't know what the short float is. This used to be one of the biggest short names, CVNA. Out there still is with 37%, I'd say. Still not making any money, Carvana, but as you can see here, everybody's already reported, so we're through that, so we don't have to worry about when its next reporting date is. But for right now, 37 bucks, looking pretty juicy. I'm really gonna like this kind of a break if and when we're able to take it, 36.50. So if anybody's in Carvana, I like that as a breakout, or if you're long already, possibly getting something out now, like this looks pretty parabolic to me here today, or watch out for this 50-period moving average as you continue to ride that all the way up, right? If you break it with any gusto there, it would be 34.75, maybe 34.50, and for sure a breakdown of 34. I think that you get out of Carvana if you break it back down below 34. So yeah, no crypto names for me. We love crypto over here, so we'll keep on trading GBTC and things like that. But for right now, eyes on Tesla possibly breaking this 238 after bouncing off of a level that we're shooting for the moon here on Tesla. We're hoping that the market continues its move down. But the thing that's got me the most nervous, and it's what I was saying before, we're above the 50 period and we are above VWAP. So for right now, I feel better about longs than I do shorts. Let's just see what happens with Tesla off some pullback from the Tesla Cybertruck event yesterday.
All right, let's go to some Chinese ADR action from this morning. If you remember, nice gap down for Alibaba on a downgrade. What a flush that was then off the open down to 72. We've climbed all the way back, however, back above where we started the day, still negative on the session overall. We also got some Chinese EV delivery data, as it is the first of the month. These have been relatively weak across the board. I was just looking through all three, NIO, XPeng, and what's that one you like? Oh, Li, right, LI was a little bit better, I guess, if there's anything. But Li, or XPeng here, just absolutely no bid whatsoever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, essentially, straight downside.
Yeah, and Baba was the recipient of a downgrade today from Morgan Stanley, but in its place has kind of been PDD here. This is what they upgraded. They downgraded. They downgraded Alibaba in favor of Pinduoduo, it looks like, and PDD has been making all-time highs. Not all-time highs, sorry, recent highs, still the all-time high around that $200 area, but making local highs. Li Auto, great report, Brendo, except, you know, the issue is it's kind of like a sell the news event coming out with 41,030 vehicles delivered in November. That's 172 percent year-over-year increase. But again, still headwinds for these names. They're not selling outside of China. They're still focused more on hybrid kind of gas / electric cars. Their foray into the all-electric was the multi-purpose vehicle, the MPV, which is a hideous-looking vehicle. We'll have to see how they do. Right now, down.
Yeah, we were just mentioning the simple fact that all of these, doesn't even matter if it's the EVs or not, they have a mind of their own. They're not going to trade with, what the U.S. is doing, regardless. But XPeng, yeah, 5.25%, trying to roll over right now a little bit, guys.
Another coffee?
Oh boy.
I was just talking to Randy about this Tesla move. He wanted to look at it over a 2-day period. That does look like a nice dip down in there, 232, as we talked about, off the open. We're still holding the short, and we're going to see what's going on with that one. But, okay. Let's see what happens here with Alibaba. I missed what you said.
No, you said it's a beautiful dip,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
I said,
no,
what
you
kind
said
of,
it, you
what
said
kind of, I was trying to get him to say the other thing.
Oh.
It's, okay, fine. There's an inside joke, and it's a different kind of dip. And it's not like a dip you eat. But
No.
we were talking about China, apparently.
Were
So
we?
I didn't realize Alibaba was all the way at the top. The other thing I didn't realize is how bad the out was on NIO. Now, in my defense, I don't have a defense. $7, we took the $7 bounce on NIO and then decided to scalp you-know-what out of it into the teens. It pulled back in. Now, I was, in the morning, in my defense, which isn't always the best defense, the market was really heavy in the morning. And at the moment, I decided this is not a reload, this is a get out, because I thought that we're going to break 7 and I would go short 99. That was my thought process. The market's heavy. NIO's been you-know-what. This is the third time it will have tested. So the second time today, you would have tested 7 even, and this flat bottom break was happening today. So that was my thought process. I got out. It proceeded to then make a bigger move to the upside, so bit of a missed opportunity. And then if you look at Alibaba, which is the other name mentioned here, we're not really going to talk Li Auto because we don't trade that stock. Li Auto's a good swing stock. It doesn't really do enough volume for you to, or have liquidity that you would want to trade it. XPeng, sure. NIO, sure. Alibaba, sure. Baba, flat bottom break on the daily. Today, this looks like a pretty decent reversal. So I'd say sign me up for a 74 breakout, but there's 2 problems with that. The first one is it's the afternoon on a Friday, and it's a Chinese name, so it's not going to have the same kind of gusto to make a breakout in the afternoon. And then the second thing is I'm going to Halifax, and we'll probably miss when it breaks out on Monday. So it looks like a very good reversal type day. The next thing would be to break 74. 75 is probably the bigger level for Alibaba because that's where it consolidated and broke down. But that is a much better bounce off the bottom than I realized for Baba and all of the Chinese EV names. Oh, we have path to get to, and then we can get back into some trading.
Oh, man, I was just looking. It's going to take 47 minutes to go across the city to get to the hockey game tonight.
47, where is it?
It's in Leaside. Ugh. Thing is, man, it takes just to trade. Oh, thank you. Just to travel around Toronto, it takes longer. It's 47 minutes for me to get from my house to Leaside for Gia's game.
You mean across
tonight.
the road?
No, but I was going to say it's 50 minutes to get up north sometimes. Traveling around Toronto is ridiculous.
I remember Leaside always having good baseball teams when we played them back in the day. That's my memory of Leaside.
You got snow up there yet?
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay, because today was pretty warm.
It's mixed right now. It's
Rain
mixed
all this
rain,
time.
snow here.
All right, one. I'm gonna. I'll do it, Randy.
Is it working?
We got it fixed now. It wasn't working before. Oh. You were just basically talking into the. There you go. Did that work?
Yeah.
Okay. It's fine. Basically, I just want to say, into the new year, did you see what BYD was doing? It's actually tanking right now. So your call was BYD with the recent bump up today. Fisker up 11 or 12%.
BYD has sold 200,000 seagulls in Asia. Yes, it's called.
They're selling birds?
Seagull. That's a bird. Sales are flying.
That's an interesting name for a vehicle.
Sales are flying.
I'm out of here. Sales are flying. That's too much, man. I
bird,
love that.
bird.
Sales are
Bird is the
flying.
word.
It's called the seagull. So what is it? Their bus is the seagull, or what is? SUV. What's up, Fabian?
Which one is it? SUV compact crossover.
What do you want, Fabian?
It's a seagull.
Well, okay.
Look it up.
No, I'm not going to look it up now.
All right, Fabian.
I
We
am
have
gonna
to.
look
We
it
have
up,
to.
actually. No, I'll look it up. It's fine.
Oh, fine. I'll find a seagull.
I'll look it up.
You want me to
It's
find a damn
fine.
seagull
We'll
for
look it up
BYD
for you
there,
if you want us
Randy?
to.
All right, BYD Seagull.
Fine, we're doing it.
I'm doing it right now. Okay, here it is.
Oh,
right
that's
here.
cute. Yeah.
I don't use words like cute. Let me see here.
Yeah.
200,000.
But the thing,
That is actually, yes.
no, but the thing about it is,
That's-
in China, that's the kind of
That's the car,
vehicle
yes.
that works, and especially like you're going to be able to sell that in Europe. Like that's what they want. Who hit the fail? Who hit
Okay,
the fail?
So I'm going to go to Sharif in a minute. Can we
You know how many vehicles they sell? This is what you want to own, not Liat. No, just kidding. It's legit.
This is what, this kind of a vehicle is what I want Tesla to make.
Yes,
Like a
they-
little,
yes.
0.5.
exactly, just a little guy that you run around the town with. Doesn't take much to charge. It doesn't even have to have a huge battery. Just something, runs on 9 volt. That's the kind of battery.
What they'll buy in Europe, because like a lot of cities, like it's the small roads, like
Streets are this wide.
exactly.
They're a little bit wider. So that's
I know,
a
but
perfect car.
it's a perfect car. Perfect.
What was that? Sharif wants to spit some knowledge here. See you, Randy.
What I want to say about BYD is they're transitioning out of ICE vehicles in the way that GM and Ford would like to. But there is another side to that, Sean, is that they have a little bit of a bad reputation in China. There are some underground parking lots where their electric vehicles are not allowed because they tend to blow up, or they have blown up in the past. So yeah,
Details.
two sides of that coin. Yeah, details. We can go on, I guess.
I mean, we can continue. I thought Randy was still.
No, he left.
Okay. All good. Let's talk about this one. Before we do, though, the news on the show. Any information you see, as always, brought to you by our friends at Benzinga Pro. Use the link in the description for Benzinga's greatest deal of the year. 75% off Benzinga Pro monthly subscriptions, I should say. $49.25. Go grab that right now. Why not? The Everything Terminal for retail traders. Visit pro.benzinga.com. Shout out to our friends at Benzinga, including this one, UiPath. Kathy Wood's number 5 holding in her entire holdings. Just made a high, but pulling back a little bit here, 27%. Still a huge day coming off their report.
Yeah, huge day, Brendo. BMO Capital Markets, Keith Bachman, analyst, opining on this, increasing the price target from 19 to 24, maintaining a market performance, saying essentially Path delivered yet another solid quarter. He wrote he's looking for average annual recurring revenue to grow by 24%. He says driven by strong enterprise detail this quarter with a record number of about $1 million deal closed.
Looking a little parabolic even on the daily chart at this point. Pretty good week, in fact, here for Path.
Yes, sir. UiPath, the Joe DiMaggio in the Kathy Wood lineup.
Hello, Aunt Kathy.
Apparently she liked that.
Can never get you on time.
You got to be a baseball fan to get that one, because I didn't realize this, but this morning it was pointed out to us, well, to all of us, but also to me, because I didn't know. The UiPath is number 5 in the ARC flagship holdings. I was surprised to see that. So it's Joe DiMaggio, obviously, and it's having a decent day today. Now, granted, when you're up 27%, if I were to zoom this out just a little bit further, you can see why 27% is really good for anyone long at the bottom, but for anyone holding the bag on this stock, it's all relative. So let's zoom it back in. It was a 20 breakout that you couldn't get because it gapped above that level. 22 was the next level on the daily. That was pretty much, if you got the first available dip, great. I got trailed out that was fun. I had the long 23.50 to 24, trailed out right there, and didn't get back in. I had a short off 25 too. This was interesting in the afternoon. Like this, barcoded for almost 40 minutes at 25. It started to break down. I had it short. It got to like 85. I'm like, oh, this is good. It's going to fall to VWAP. And I reloaded, and then it stopped out for like a 10-cent hit. So that short gave something back because I had decided to reload. But UiPath is now holding highs. We're above 16,000. It's above that 25 level. Not crazy. If this can bounce off 25 again and take out the top, maybe it starts going one more time. We talked about the short float this morning, but for anyone that wasn't watching, you should be in the morning. It's 9%, so not as big as I thought it was. Either way, I know one thing I'll look back today, and there's no question about it. If I have one regret today, it's 2. Actually, no, check that. It's 3. It was trail out of Path, out too early on Affirm, and then NIO not reloading in front of 7 even. Like all 3 of them were like the 3 long plays that I liked. And when you're bearish, it's going to be really easy when you're bearish on the day, because that's what the morning was, to not really give the longs enough of an opportunity to work. Now, I am in Uber, but that's, like, I didn't have any dip buys in Uber. This is Uber chasing a breakout right now. Like Uber, which I haven't gone over, and we're done with Path. Uber was a clear just breakout in the afternoon, like noon. You had a 57.30 top. When it took it out, I just went into the long, and then when it broke out again, I just took the next available dip. So I'm kind of chasing this breakout to the upside on Uber, which is going into that S&P 500 at some point. Brendo?
Yeah, I was reading at lunch. We might hear about that after the close tonight, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Just be aware, I'm not seeing this anywhere else, and it kind of feels like a Bloomberg type of headline, but apparently Amazon and SpaceX going to team up for a broadband pilot in the second half of next year. So again, not seeing that really anywhere other than on Twitter right now, so just be aware. But Amazon not really moving on that.
Oh, so apparently, shout out to Aaron in the chat and Mark mentioning that Nexi opened back up here. This was the thing that was halted pre-market. And this just opened back up, and it opened down at $5 and halted to the upside. So it gapped down 50% and then instantly halted to the upside at 6. Okay, fair enough. That is probably, let me just double check what the float is on this. It's got to be really small. Obviously, we weren't trading it because it was halted all day. This is a, oh yeah, this is the one, 658,000. This is the one that was 658,000 float. So be careful, not a lot of liquidity. This could squeeze in a big way on Nexi. It just opened back up here. There is no liquidity on that thing. Good luck trading that. I don't remember, I didn't see what the news was. I'd have to go check it myself. I wouldn't trade it blind. But clearly, whatever it wasn't bad. And it just halted.
It was on our watch list, so I think the story would be there somewhere for Nexi. But okay, we did ring the register. Unfortunately, our Tesla. I did want to talk about BYD here for a second, but let me just show you. Our Tesla came right back up. Now, whether or not we probably should have waited for that 200 period to hold and be. I was just worried about this blast. It hit it and faded back out. So. We'll take the $2 winner and be happy with it on Tesla. I mean, honestly, it was in the money, $350. Take what you take. Look at BYDFF, okay, or BYDDF. This is Boyd. So we talked about that with Randy. That was that car. It's really gotten pretty much
broken down.
Yeah, broken down's a good word. Yeah. So I was going to say destroyed, but it really hasn't. I mean, some of these other EV names are. Like a Fisker, a Lucid, and so on and so forth. But again, like if you did like this name and you're able to hold, you got to get it over here as an ADR with BYDDF, of course, because it's listed in China. But over here on the OTC markets, it's as safe as it can go. There's a lot. Yeah, there's DDF and then there's DDY is the other one. But and I think they're just again a share. Structure situation, they should both look exactly the same. So either way, no matter which one you're looking at here, I like to trade the one with a little bit more volume. So let me just do that for you right now. BYDDY over here on PK. So 250,000 BYDDF on PK 97. So yeah, so I'm going to go with the Y then. So I think the Y. And you might ask why. It's just because of volume. You want to make sure that there is going to be enough liquidity. But again, the charts are going to be identical. We did have, I don't think it was Jeff that was explaining it, Jeff Mendel from OTC Markets, but someone discussed the share difference between BYDDY and F. I kind of think it's probably something similar to Google and Google and or Goog and Goog L.
It's got to be some kind of.
That's an A versus C class share thing, but I don't know what it is exactly for BYDDF, but something in there for sure as that deposit. So okay, that's just that stock. All right, another stock that we're in here that just double touched back into VWAP again. We have one out there. We did not take another one. We should have at 27. I'm bidding 17s. So I'm guessing that this has all changed a little bit here. VWAP is down there at 17, or at least it was. It's moved up a little bit to 28, 29. So let's put a bid around 30, take another piece out for Disney and just get out of that one. I feel like that Tesla's probably going to be a short there. We probably should have stayed in it. It's just with the market.
What's the green line?
200 period. So Yeah, the thing is that I don't really trade off that specifically. I'd never really seen it in the middle like this. So Tesla just has had such a dramatic move over the last couple of days. So I just wanted to use that to get out. So we'll wait. Right now we're short Disney, and that's it. Looking for some more.
Oh, Darwin says that Y is in ADR.
So then what is F?
But then, yeah, exactly.
I don't.
That would be my question.
Just understanding the difference for your own personal.
Unless you own it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
if you're trading
but
it,
I do want to buy it.
But if you're trading it, it doesn't make a difference. You just want the more liquidity. Like that's why Google. But if you're owning it, maybe you care about
F is the
voting rights or whatnot.
Okay, so Anna Hamada.
Just a couple of things before. The market
Why
is
is
still actually bouncing higher. It's gonna come to my chart because I took some out of Intel and it's about to get into VWAP, so we're shorting the 44 level. Let me show you the 15-minute here. So this is 44 on Intel, not necessarily rocket science. If I had been trading Intel at 9:30, it was just a crazy bottom break at 44 right off the open. So when it comes back into that level, we short that one. Pulling back is Uber as well. That's the other position I'm in. It got to a fresh high off our last reload. I thought we'd get to 58 on this move. So we're making another pullback in Uber. If it can put in a higher low again, I think I'd look for a consolidation. Maybe grab some more long and then see if it can get back into the top. Otherwise, I'm stopping this out underneath 60 on Uber. Do not need this reversing. And when you mentioned Disney, I was reminded about Walmart. Now, this is all I could find on Walmart falling today. I'm not saying this is the reason Walmart went down, but all I saw was Walmart joining a boycott for X. And I don't know if that's the reason why it got dumped. So I couldn't find another reason why Walmart broke down, but 154 was a big level for Walmart anyways. That's the 200 period moving average on the daily breaking down, and then support at 154 breaking down on Walmart. So it just retested it. Now that it's been tested, oh, that's higher lows all the way into it. 1, 2, 3, 4 times it's tested. It wants to break out.
I had Walmart. Yeah, Walmart. Good name there. If you guys like that one. Diversify a little bit. Nexi has resumed. We will go over that in just a second. I do want to give you a trade that I'm going to go into because some of you are looking for trades right now. So let's go. What about, and again, it's 2:37. I think there's still a lot of time left. We have power hour coming up between 3 and 4 o'clock. I'm not sure if there's anything economically happening.
Just Powell.
Yeah, what time is that again? Let me double check actually. Tweeted it out myself today. It's also on.
Well, it's that. He's supposed to be. The thing's on now.
Oh, here it is right here. So show more. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah. So 2 o'clock. Yeah. So he's actually
on now.
Yeah. So he's actually up right now, Powell. We're gonna find out if he's still on.
Holy
I don't
crap!
know if he's still on or not. But either way, what I was getting at here is this story. Brendan just brought us this story. It's Amazon. It's right here on Benzinga. So this is it. Amazon secures 3 launches. Brendan just gave us this news story. This is Benzinga Pro. Guys, get it. It's a pretty good news story right there. And so before I go to Brendan, I'm going to go there real quickly. It's just if Amazon breaks this high of the day, I like it. It's on news. The market's up right now. The market's above 16,000. I like Amazon breaking 147.11. What up, Brandon?
I'm just mentioning to Randy, who's sitting beside me currently, that this panel is continuing, guys, with Fed Chair Powell. It's now 38 minutes into this. He is yet to make a comment. So everyone else is speaking, and maybe then he will make a comment, but he hasn't said anything yet.
And that's, you know, I mean, when Jerome Powell has something important to say, he's definitely probably going to call us.
Yeah, we get to know first. Or do we? He's not having a nap. He's not Joe Biden.
Having a nap? Nah, he can have a nap afterwards. He's been a busy guy, man, making the rounds a little bit there. All the Fed. Yesterday we had Barkin, Goolsby,
Mester,
Loretta.
What's crazy is why does Loretta Mester always have to be Loretta Mester, and everyone else is just their last name?
You know who's not? Doesn't have a last name that we always say. How about this one? Neil Kashkari.
Well, it's because he has the best first name.
That's right.
Although he spells it dead.
Okay, here goes
wrong.
Amazon. I don't know right now. Yeah, he's supposed to Neil, I believe, right? Oh, 2 E's.
Yeah, it's
right. South Asian. Yeah, that would make sense
which
there.
that does make
Okay,
sense.
so thank you for Adara coming in. No problem. Right there. So there it is. All right. So here comes Amazon. The reason why I'm not using 147 flat, it just broke 147. I don't blame anybody that wants to get in on that little level there. But I'm going to break that. If it goes higher, great. And again, this is on strength of the market. And then that story with them partnering up sort of with SpaceX to support 3 of their launches. So, that could lead to something else. And, that's not going to move the needle for Amazon. But I already love Amazon. I already think Amazon's a huge name moving forward in 2024. It may be the best performer out of all those top NASDAQ stocks. I honestly believe that. I think AWS is going to be pretty hot there. I don't know what they're doing with their gaming division anymore, but Prime's been, just how good Black Friday was and Cyber Monday was, apparently. If we do not go through what people are thinking we could maybe avoid a recession or have a smaller one, I think that kind of talk could help Amazon if we don't have that. Again, you've seen oil pull back recently, which kind of hints that maybe we are going to be heading for a recession. But if Amazon can continue to work, I just like everything that they're doing. They're buying companies, they bought Ring and all that kind of stuff, and Roomba, or whatever they're getting involved in. It's just, as it continues to go, I don't like the shopping experience, and maybe it's just me,
really?
But no, on Amazon I do. I was saying going into retail stores.
Oh, God, no.
I don't want to run into Walmart, and we use the same examples, like buy a shaver or anything like that. I'd rather just get it on Amazon, and I think that the more this world goes, man, the more, how good of a Christmas is Amazon going to have? Just think about all the stuff that they've already talked about. I think there's more to come here for Amazon. So I like this play, but I like it today because of the news and just reasons for a potential move higher. So let's wait to see. If we do get in it, though, I'm using the 50 period as my out. So whatever that is at the time, that's what we're going to use. So right now it would be 80s or so. I could be convinced of the 200 period. Let's see the action. I'm pretty sure we're going to get long. It's a new trade idea for me, and it's Amazon.
Yeah, I'm looking to still buy dips as long as I can in some of these trending stocks. One's going to be Uber, but I just saw Carvana wicked that 36. What's crazy about this is at no point has this move in Carvana been parabolic. This is a 45-degree angle to the upside. It's very linear. That is what just steady buy side looks like. It needs to show you something different. There's been a couple of stair steps to the downside. Each time it's done a pullback, it's heavy. You've had an opportunity to buy the dip. So it just did that off 36. So I'd be interested to see if it could do it again. Uber in here, as long as we're above 16,000, I like some of this. You're getting a bit of a consolidation on Uber. The other one, I am going to take Walmart. It's been too good of a level at 154 not to be in it. So I was in Walmart at 154, and then when it failed 154 a couple times, I did not take it the third and fourth times. But with the high is literally 154.03. So if I can get it in the 90s, it's going to make sense. It'll be relatively tight risk, but I do like the notion of shorting something relatively weak. So I'm going to jump into that. Rivian, Elon just said Rivian's going to break 18. Oh, goodness. Maybe I like this better. Yeah, I might like this better than Uber right now. Yeah, I like a Rivian better than Uber.
I like Rivian too.
Wow, this is so
Tesla rate. See, so what Neil was just talking about, I think, is the important thing, is Rivian's moving right now. When I look at Tesla's been a great stock. I'm up on it. It's not my strongest stock by any stretch. Microsoft is number 1, Pfizer's number 2, Disney's here again. Well, we've only traded 5 names. So anyways, it's not moving, as opposed to some of the momentum that maybe you can get into a Rivian, right? Look at this thing breaking out through the day's high right now. This is going to be, and I know I just said some bold statements a little bit about Amazon as well, but I really feel that this could be the winner. They have, and again, it ties with Amazon again. Amazon already has that 100,000 unit, I believe. Anyways, I think there's 10,000 right now. I think I talked about this with Randy the other day, or maybe it was live on the show. Actually, I don't even know if you were here. But it was, I think it might have been on the podcast maybe that I did. Anyways, it was just that Rivian's already rolling out some of these delivery vehicles under Amazon, right? Amazon does have a big deal with them, hoping to get 100,000 of these vehicles by 2030. They have also opened up the availability of these delivery vehicles to other companies. So I could see Rivian being one of the winners here. So I feel like once again, it's kind of like get that garbage out of here, like I say. So if we can break above this $20 mark right here on the daily, I really like it. And if you're playing momentum on the day, why not? Look at this 200 period, straight up, man, right? As opposed to what we're out of Tesla, but You know, this one, I don't really see it unless we get back down into here or back up to 240. So I do think that that is a good look. And a shout out to Dan, because Mr. McIsaac there in the chat, who's again been part of our chat for as long as I can remember. Somehow, some way, man, and I feel like you're one of us here, Dan. You got 155 on the bottom for Fisker. So, oh my God.
That is a heck of a long. That is
I meant to hit oh my God, but that will work as well. That's a heck of a long on Fisker. Look what Fisker did. So remember we talked about barcoding, and people want to know, what do we mean by barcoding? Well, if you take your phone or a scanner up and you scan that Fisker barcode right there, it may tell you the answer to life. So I don't know if that's going to be something, but like, why does that even happen? You know, like it goes way up and then it just does absolutely nothing for 2 hours.
after having moved that much.
Like, it's like, this is why I feel like this market sometimes.
You seen this thing today?
Someone sent that, actually, I think it was Trader Luke sent that Lyft chart.
And here I thought Uber was
Uber.
having a
It's
decent.
just-
Yeah, but
because of Uber, though.
13%. They're not going into the S&P 500 ever.
No,
Okay,
no.
well
might.
I should never say.
Why not?
I shouldn't say never.
They have a profitable
No
quarter.
time.
Actually, hold on a second.
No time soon are they going in. Well, okay, I don't think so. But Lyft obviously not doing as well as a business as Uber, but as a trade, yeah, Lyft has been pretty good today. That's not bad. You are at a big level, at least resistance-wise. I mean, the $13 level was big resistance. It's already at $13.35, so I guess you can put that one in the rear view. Wow, that's incredibly impressive. Thank you guys for pointing that out. Wasn't even on the radar. Hayden, thank you for the super chat. Can we look at CLSK? Massive run the last week. I think we did. I mean, we brought up.
No, I brought it up like Tuesday. Remember,
was
I
it
thought
Tuesday?
well, because I thought it was a
Oh no, because
EV name,
we
but
thought it
it's-
was an EV name, but
it's
it's
a miner. It's a
yeah, it's like a
Bitcoin
Bitcoin miner. So this is just going with the other crypto names, which obviously are having great days. Oh, look at the level up here on the daily. Look at that wick top. It's $7.95, so that's right at $8. And look at where it turned today. The good news is a bit of a bull flag put in here. The bad news would be parabolic into a huge resistance level. If this can take out $8, that looks pretty spicy this afternoon. But it's running. Look at the volume, just tapering off. The volume's got to get back into this. An $8 break looks pretty good on the daily chart. So unless it breaks that 8, I don't know how excited I would be. But I wanted to get some shares of. I'm on the offer of Walmart. That didn't actually fill.
give me that bid.
Yeah. Oh, it's, you know what? Let me just wet the beak. I'd rather have a price of like 85 to 90. So I'll get something here and then see if we get something better to VWAP. Over VWAP would be better. But if this market's stair-stepping down, I mean, Walmart has been weak all day. 154 is a big level on the 3-minute. It's a big level on the daily chart. Walmart's flat bottom breaking here. And if this is because of if this is a woke thing because of boycotting Elon, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you can take politics in or out of it, but several other names have dropped precipitously when this has happened to them. So, and candidly speaking, like, I'm shorting a 154 level in Walmart. I own Walmart in my long term and have for quite some time. So you got to be able to trade ignoring that kind of a thing. If it breaks 154.05, then I'm going to be out. Macy's is apparently going up, Barron says in the chat. Decent short flow for them. $17? Wow. This has been an unbelievably strong day for several names. Look at Macy's off this bottom. Sheesh.
Retail is.
I mean,
hot fire.
that is hot fire, but I didn't realize that Macy's was having this strong of a day. But I'm shorting Walmart because it's been weak off that 154 level. Dan's saying he's trading that nexi. So I should have said, Nexi's they're going out of business. Reverse split. Now, just because that's happening, they could end up, before things wind down, they could always end up on the OTC before it's completely gone. So that's a reason why I could still be trading. I personally am staying out of this and staying away from it, but it is making a bounce after gapping to the downside. Like, if you did play it off of the open range low, congratulations to you. Personally, I don't think it would be a bad thing to take profit on this. Fundamentals sometimes do matter.
All right, I'm going to go. Look, we've had a great show here. It's a lot of fun. We just covered some more Disney right now, but I'm going to give props up to my guy over there in the chat. It's Mr. Love Shack, and this just honestly, maybe it's not even that funny. I don't know if it is or not, but he just goes, I don't know why. Like, why am I even laughing at this?
What do you say?
It's not even that funny. It's right here. It just says, I just scanned this Fisker barcode with a barcode scanner. It's a UPC for potatoes. I just think that that's
good.
just like,
That's good.
I read that and I was just like, that's just really funny. Like, I don't know why. Like potatoes, it's just, like potatoes are just, I don't really know what it's.
But it's a
why
car,
that's
so wouldn't it be a
funny.
melon?
Exactly. And that's the thing. That would have been good as well, man. That's.
I don't know
I just think
anything
the
about.
randomness
I
of
have
the
nothing
potato.
against Fisker cars.
No, when I just read that, I was like, man, potatoes. Like that's just something so random that I would say too. It's like just funny. But that's it, man. Good job there, Mr. Love Shack, for sure.
But you're Italian. You don't think potatoes. You guys think pasta.
Yeah, well, gnocchi is potato.
That's true.
Love some gnocchi. Wow.
Oh,
Damn
yeah,
Italians
yeah.
and their carbs. Damn you. Okay, so
But tasty carbs.
tasty, very, very tasty. The world's finest cuisine, some may say. Okay, right there. Look, so we just got out. So Disney finally came back into VWAP. Woke or not, I might just cancel my damn Disney subscription. It has
you're
nothing
not.
to do with, you know what, the kids don't really watch it as much as, they actually really never watch it, to be honest with you. So anyways, coming right back in there, yeah, it would have nothing to do with Elon Musk or anything like that. I know that Dara was talking about that earlier. But okay, so just quickly we got out because of VWAP, so shout out to Brian Shannon and everybody. But that was the out. That's why we still have a very, very small piece. But again, we waited for sort of not a parabolic move or anything like that, but that was a good move on this one. I'm just hearing in my ear that nexi right now is hitting some next levels as it goes up to the upside, and right now just hitting $8. Hold on a second.
It's too close to the highs.
Hold on a second. Oops, what was that? Oh, that's Travolta. No, that's not what I mean. Oops, hold on a second. Don't do anything. I want this.
I was just going to mention Microsoft, guys. There was a slight downtick, I guess you could call it. We're right back up, though, so kind of quiet. 1% for Microsoft right now. I was going to mention this earlier, but right when we came on at 2 o'clock, there was a note about OpenAI delaying a custom GPT store. That was from Axios, but not much reaction there.
Okay, I don't think that's that big.
All right.
Get another button I don't have.
There's only 2 Brendan buttons. So the Dada one was funny because we didn't.
Well, I have this one.
Which one do you have?
I have
Yeah, the goat one. Although, is that a sheep
It's a
or a
sheep.
goat? Yeah, we're wondering about that. Brendan ain't no sheep. But no, the thing is that Dada thing all started because it was just so stupid, as most things are around here. It was just Dada the stock one day was moving around and he had reported on it, and it was just funny. That's $6? $3? What? Like some of these Chinese
It gets
names,
really depressing when
honestly,
we look at these like months later.
Like PDD, all-time highs, or it's not, but ripping. Billy down. Like, look, what the? Like this stock again, and back in January,
if
the
you wanted
NASDAQ
YOLO
was
level.
up 43% this year, is up 43% this year. S&P, I think, is what, 18 or something? But either way, like this was $16 at the beginning of this year, and you're down to $3.
But hold on a second.
What is that?
Look at that low. That is 297, I think. The stock bounced at 298 today.
Why is it only, this can't be right either?
No, but look at the wick today at the open.
Go to Neil's screen.
This wick here is the 50. Go to my screen for a second. If you're a trader of Dada, which probably none of you are, but if this is the stock that you trade, or a stock that's in your bucket,
Chinese name.
this is the 52-week low that it wicked at the open, then consolidated above. That's a long all day in that consolidation to there, and look at how well that worked. And again, it's just a trading setup. Now, I get it, none of you guys trade Dada, but if you trade, that is bouncing off a big monster level, high or low. It is a Chinese company. I don't know what they do.
Oh, I'm trying to read what it says here. Data Nexus engages in the provision of platform for local on-demand retail and delivery in China. So after reading that, I still have no idea what it does. It operates JD, so maybe there is something there. I don't know if this is JD.com. JD Doja, a local on-demand retail platform. So there you go. That's more like it. And Dada Now, a local on-demand delivery platform.
Ooh.
Okay, so maybe this is kind of like, is this kind of like a DoorDash, but they're only doing the platform? Maybe they don't have the drivers involved there. But anyways, this was founded in China back in 2014. 14, and Shanghai. The reason why I go over this again is that there's so many names that kind of look like this, like again, you're right back into a good little, and I just brought this up randomly because we have that ridiculous graphic, but you're all the way back into some levels here where I could see without knowing anything about the business, but just a ridiculous bounce. If this had like a 20% or more short float, I would actually suggest buying it. I know, but I don't think that short float is right. We have to have a better, you said float checker is down now?
Oh, I couldn't access float checker. I can't.
So
I haven't been able to get onto float checker in a.
FinViz has a short
about a
float.
week.
Let me just see.
Well, I was about to do FinViz too.
Let me see.
Go to yours.
S, 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 A, B, C, D. Okay, so here's S. Where's short float? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it actually has the same thing, 1 1/4. So
there you go.
Anyways, all right, back to some trades just real quick. I want to go over to Amazon because I'm surprised I'm not in that yet as the market's just hovering around.
Apparently, float checker did close down.
Oh, they did? They did?
If anybody has another source like them, just let us know.
So here comes Amazon. Yeah, float checker was good because it checked like 5 or so different resources. It's kind of funny that we just talked about Amazon right now because here we go. We are at this level coming through again.
Here we go.
Yeah, I was going to say I just felt like Dak here. Here we go. Hut. Out, and there goes. But here we go. Right now, yeah, that annoys me as well. And I used to have Dak and traded him. That was probably a mistake. But there you go. 147.10, trying to break higher right now on Amazon. So I like this long. Although it's not really reacting too great, we still do have the power hour coming. It's only 256 right now, so I like this story. Again, making a deal there with SpaceX. You're going to see me get punched in just a matter of seconds. As soon as we break 147.11, look, hands off. This is a program that I have if it breaks that level, in case I was looking at something else or talking about ridiculous data and things like that. There we go. We are now in. Some reason 13 doesn't break, and we're long at 13.8 right now. So I don't know what just happened there. Attention, Reg NMS. That should not have happened, but it's okay. Here we go. We are now long on Amazon on the day high break. I like the stock.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
146.90.
If you don't watch, unless you watch football, actually, if you do watch football, you're probably really annoyed by that and the Cowboys, but you probably don't get it. For those that are uneducated, the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, before he huts the ball pretty much every single time, he says, here we go. So now I have it in my head because Sean said it. Walmart's going the other direction from Amazon, which, I mean, Walmart's probably better. I like him a little bit better. We just talked about that, but it just broke down at that 154. I only wet the beak. I wanted the money fills. So for anyone watching, when I say the term money fill, I think most of us, when we say money fill, I simply mean if there's a level that you're working off of and I'm short, I want to short above those prices. So if I'm looking at VWAP as a short price, I kind of want to get filled above there and then get short at prices into 154. What? I took one underneath. We just took some out 153.60 as that heads to the downside, but the market is going to the upside. And Jay Lee's asking about Upstart. The biggest performer today? I don't know. Isn't UiPath the biggest performer today?
Upstart is bouncing.
It's up 20%, but UiPath's up like 27%. But then it gapped most of it. So the best performer, it might actually be Upstart.
Yeah, like intraday.
Why is my 3-minute? Sorry, I have to fix this. Why is my 3-minute on
right,
every single screen? Let me just do this. Don't show on every single window.
I have no idea how you do that.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't have patience for that.
Yeah, Upstart's in the midst of a pretty big break here. So if you look at, here's the daily,
Amazon,
that's 31.80. It's breaking out on the daily as we speak. That looks like a really good long above 32 on Upstart.
Okay, here we go.
I was laughing before you even said it.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can get going here as well. I hope this is like a Dak to CeeDee Lamb type of situation here for us on Amazon. Okay, so now we're starting to go 147.18. Let's see if we can get this guy a little higher here. That's going to be Amazon. We know the strategy. It's starting to go. We talked about that break of 147. If you have 147, great. If you have 147.10 like I don't, then great. So by the way, I put out a stop order at 146.90, but I put 147.90. You know, so that's why my prices changed, because I had to. Sharif had this problem the other day, and both Neil and I were yelling at him instead of, you know, worrying about. Let me get to it, and you'll understand what I'm saying. So will Sharif. It was just the other day he was complaining. It was like, I punched out of NVIDIA, remember? And then both you and I turned directly to him and said, stop talking about it and punch back in. Because thing is, if you get out on purpose, and this is when for some reason he has all of his flattened keys right beside each other, which is, here we go, that's a mistake.
That's not a good idea.
So the whole thing about that is that I punched out by accident there. I put the wrong stop price. I told you I was gonna do it down here, so I just boom, right there. We'll take a little bit out right now as Amazon going back up to the upside. But we put out a different trade, so I got back in. So the idea is remember I was long at 147.13, now we're long at 147.15. So what's up? Oh, Ramin? I don't hear what she's saying. Sharif and Ramin have a very special relationship in this office. I'll leave it at that. Okay. I know. Her spirit is crazy. She's honestly.
Ramin has an amazing energy.
I know.
She brings treats every single morning. Sometimes it's like it's not what I would eat in the morning, but then when she brings it, I'll have some too. But it's a great team around here. We have a heck of a lot of fun. Actually, on that note, because I just turned and looked at another member of our team behind us. Haven't done this. It's not Kat's fault.
Hola.
Nothing is Kat's fault.
Today.
I thought we were getting another one of those.
How dare you say it's Kat's fault?
What fault for what?
I don't know. I just heard in my ear it's Kat's fault. That's what I heard. I heard it's Kat's fault. I'm like, it's never Kat's
Sharif's
fault.
saying that he's upset that we hit the cat one, is what Sharif just said.
Okay.
Subscribe and share and show that Big C's on Hard the Market every day.
There you go. You're welcome, Sharif.
I'm sorry. I mean, Sharif knows that that's what we want to do every single time. And don't worry, Renata, it's not that kind of relationship. So back to trade. I just got out of Intel because the market's breaking to the highs. See how I quickly changed the subject? Intel bounced off VWAP there, so I took out the 44s when it broke the 3/4 mark once again. Everyone keeps asking about Nexi. Okay, so look, if it halts, all that good stuff, we can talk about the levels and where the stock is trading, but I don't think I want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, it's not very liquid. Actually, there's a lot of volume. The liquidity isn't as bad as I think. But yeah, this is the one. These are the guys that are going under. It's trying to flag and break out at 850. I guess it could squeeze, but fundamentally, it seems like it's a little bit dangerous there. I'm still in Uber. I missed the dip buy on Uber. There it is. That's me. St. Hubert's is amazing.
St. Hubert, man. St.
If you've ever been in, if you're from Canada, you know what I'm talking about. I think they're only in Quebec now, though. Yeah. So the last time I was one in Montreal. But yeah, if you know, the sauce was way better than Swiss Chalet. Oh, just even thinking about it's making me hungry. So the next time it dips down into 57.70, I'm going to try and pick some more shares.
I don't think Americans have Swiss Chalet either.
Uber. Oh, you guys don't have Swiss Chalet either.
They do not, I would say.
I can't think of an equivalent.
It's just a chicken,
chicken place,
but it's not fried chicken. It's like a.
Yeah, like they do like rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
And then they're known for their sauce. Right?
Kind of like a Nando's, but a Nando's is Portuguese, and I think Nando's is only in Canada maybe as well.
It's not like Nando's.
It's a sit-down chicken place.
Yeah, but I wouldn't like Nando's is less of a menu. They don't have as much. They don't have as many things at Nando's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a family place.
Pfizer's breaking lower.
lower.
Yeah, I just heard Boston market.
If it's under, okay, yeah, it's way lower.
Is it under the day's low? Because that's something that we should have held probably.
No, not yet. But
okay, well, Pfizer broke out. As soon as it broke that little level there, we got out of Pfizer. Obviously, if you're going to use pre-market scanners and stuff, like that was a great level right there in the pre-market. So like that 29.50. This actually, I don't know where my sticky note is, but I actually drew, we talked about a bump up in Pfizer into this level for a short, but we had just shorted it early. And then that's honestly our bad or everyone's bad because like this was a name that should have been continuously on the radar.
When
today.
It broke here, it should have been a reshort right there.
It already broke the 52-week low, and that's something that you don't need to get away from.
But look at this. Okay, so the pre-market, the 52-week low was about 93, but it doesn't matter. Let's just call it 90, 28.90. Look at it bounce on the way back up at 28.90, and then look at it consolidate at that same price. When it breaks it back down, that is a short re-entry. Like right there, you're getting 88 or 89, and even if you don't get that, it just consolidated for like 20 minutes at 28.80. So if I can get that short, I still won't mind this going into the end of the day. I'm going to try and get something in the 70s on Pfizer, and I'll just get out if it gets back above like 85. There was something else we were getting at. It was Carvana. Carvana, wow. The list of names that have been like high flyers, although it's starting to look like it's running out of steam. This is the first time since the morning when it's gone sideways off anything, and it just wicked the 36 level. So if it's going to break down, that could be it. Raphael saying AMC is attempting to break. You can't look at them all. Like, I don't know if I would want to trade Carvana and AMC. I know I want to get back into Pfizer when I look at that breakdown. That's for sure. It's just the ability for this move to go back to the low on a stock this week, I think is a good, especially for power hour, like revert to what you were doing before. Strong stock stays strong, weak stock stays weak, or goes back to being weak, whatever you want to say. So I'm going to try and get into Pfizer here. That looks a little bit better. Jennifer Schultz rightly pointing out CarMax is moving. Heck, if Carvana's having a big day, I can only imagine Carvana's having a good one too. I do want to reload Walmart while we're at it, if I can get that into VWAP one more time. It's just the 154, so if it gets back into the 80s, I'll jump into this one, just reload that one back into 154. Alan saying, imagine trading Carvana, AMC, GME, and Nexi, like all at once. The thing about trading multiple names at once, it's one thing if you're in 4 names and like 3 of them are following the cues. And like, you know what I mean? Like they're generally going to be doing somewhat of the same thing and you can have your stop levels and orders. If it's 4 parabolic type movers, the risk of missing a fill on one of them, or you miss a fill, it goes into a halt, that's the problem. Like I think one of those at a time is generally a safer way to go. Like remember when it was meme stock days? Mm-hmm. Like I remember vividly the day of the Funware GME, that crazy day. Like Funware was a really good looking stock that day, so was it GameStop or was it DWAC? No, it was DWAC. It wasn't GameStop. It was a DWAC Funware day. You picked DWAC or Funware. You didn't trade both of them. And if it was AMC, GME, like you picked one, and that was the one that you were trading, and it didn't matter. There were no bad answers on days like that, but you didn't try to trade them all because the risk of missing a fill was too great, or just sort of getting caught in a move. So I remember that day to the upside. I remember at the open, Funware was great at 425, and a lot of people were trading GameStop. Or I keep saying GameStop. We're trading DWAC because that was the primary. But just pick one and stay in your lane. I find it's a little dangerous to do both. To each their own.
Yeah. I'm in a dangerous spot right now too because Amazon is falling down. So we only got a couple outs up here. Our best out is like 22s or something. It's not even really worth talking. Well, actually we got a nice spike. Yeah, 22s, 23s. We got that spike. But here it comes. Okay, here it goes. So it's bleeding. Like the market is just faded out back to 16,000. I'm going to have to tap out. So the 50 period's moved. Normally I would use that as the out. So possibly we should have been out there at 96, at least some of it. I am willing to dump 75% of this position for the loser. Fine. Unfortunately, that's, you're going to have losers on. And we do have this out if it breaks through 85 right now for Amazon. But it is falling back just on this market move. I don't know if something hit the market or not, but it is a move down, and unfortunately now our offer is at 147. Sorry, our average price is at 147.09. So not great. It will be a 30-cent hit if it does continue to move down, and I'm not going to.
I think we just tapped a lower high in the futures.
Could be just. And again, if we pull this back out, I kind of want to sit there in case something does happen because I don't mind getting it out if it does pop back a little bit here. Because if the market's going to be below that 50 period, I don't like it, which it is right now, coming into the close. Whenever this is near the open, near the close. I always feel like we could just go back and have a look at some of these levels. I feel like the algos and things like that, they wanted to shake out weak hands and they want to just see if there's any sort of love back at some of these bottoms. And I think that's just what happened. They just rinsed everybody down to 16,000, did not get a chance to break it before algos again probably came back. You see the volume in here? Came back in, spiked this thing back up a little bit. So here comes Amazon. Right back up to the upside. All right, I'm going to take some out at 04 if we can get some more, if we can get something out. Right now, I'm offering 04s. I'm offering it on, if it's Edge X or what, I missed it. Okay, so nice little bounce back there. We did get a reloaded spot. Look at our average price, guys. It's 09. So there we go. So getting some out at 03s. It's going to change my average price. See, now it says 08. No, still 09, so okay. So
it'll change.
Yeah, we didn't. So just so you don't think that we're riverboat gamblers here or anything like that, which sometimes we are, I didn't put a lot of shares on, as that's why my price isn't changing that much. We didn't put a lot of shares on down there. I hate when we see this. I look at the news scanner and nothing's there. It's not even a big move in the market. It's just, as day traders, we tend to overreact to little small moves like this because when you have shares on board, you know,
I find it's one of those situations
50
where
cent drip.
when you're watching the tape and something drastically changes in the way the tape is going, my first thought is what just happened. Now, it could just be like it was, like the future just kind of pulled back into a level, but it's best to have the other reaction. If something just goes weird on the tape, you're like, okay, did something just happen? Maybe find it out. Like look at another stock. Did it only move down on my stock? Look at a stock in that sector. Do I still like the stock I was gonna dip by? Do I still want it at move? The answer for me was I got Rivian. I had to assess whether I really wanted it. I did. I stuck with adding to Uber as well. But yeah, that move down, we bounced off 16,000. If we had broken 16,000, I would have pulled some bids on these dip buys. But we bounced off it, so I think we're still good. Why long Rivian? Christopher just said Rivian strong, like bull. Oh no, it's missing data. 15-minute, be
Rivian's
good.
been
There you go. Yeah, Rivian's been strong. It's been stair-stepping into the upside. And I fully acknowledge when you are taking a stock which has already been breaking out and you're going like higher low to higher low, at some point you're going to do a dip buy and it's not going to work. Like, unless it just goes up forever, at some point one dip buy is not going to be a winning trade. But until that's true, like I was pretty late to this. Well, this is Uber, and hit enter twice. Rivian's the same thing. They're both stair stepping up. But at some point, like one of these dips in the previous support is just not going to work. But until it stops working, you kind of just do it. It's one of those, like it's the same thing as if you were playing off a support or resistance level. At some point, you might take it and it breaks the level.
Shit.
It's no different than that. So I like it because it's relatively strong. If it never breaks 18 even, fair enough. But I can stop this out underneath 75, and that's only 7 or 8 cents worth of risk. And if it does break 18, I'll have something on board. So it's strong. Walmart's weak. That's why we're in it. I finally got that Pfizer fill. So
I love how you go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be kicking myself because you look at this. It should have been a short 15 cents ago, but this is where it's at right now. So Pfizer. Weak all day long. Did you see where Tesla went to, by the way? I don't know if you did.
I mean, I got out at 238. I have no idea. I don't even want to look, do I?
It put a very clean lower high just now at 39.
39s. Perfect. That was a good out by me.
Like 40s to 39s. Usually you don't see it that obvious on Tesla. There was something else. Oh, that's a good. Alan, the trend is your friend till the end. I tend to agree with that.
Yep.
It's easier to ride the trend as long as you can than to try to always pick. Look, if you pick a top or bottom, it's going to be fantastic when you get it. But sometimes it is easier to ride the trend.
We did have that bottom in Pfizer. I think that might be one of the only bottoms we had. Actually, we have some good trades, obviously, in Tesla as well. I just want to talk about it because Amazon, so just so everybody knows, like if you add, because I've taken some outs here on the way back up. So it was just at 13s. When 13s are on the ask or on the bid right now, I'm net flat if I got them all out at 13 right now. Even though it shows me long 05, that'd be 8 cents. We've taken hits because we were long there and then we averaged it in. And remember, the way our software works is an accounting thing. It's like first in, first out. So it doesn't give an average price. It will just, like at some point, if I get out more right now at 09, it's gonna start to say that I'm long down here at 92, which is not, it's accurate, but when you're looking at some of the trades and you see some of the prices, like I just saw someone say, how did Sean, and what's up to Joe, I think it was Joe or someone in the chat there, said, wow, what a great entry this was on Disney. And you want to talk about getting the wicks, the high of the day. I mean, that's Disney right there. I mean, it opened up and came right back in. And then I don't know if it was facetious or not, but you asked like, how did we get that top wick? I mean, I could just say by offering it, but I know that's not what you mean. I let it.
But that is the answer.
That is the answer. But I let it come back into some of this pre-market area, and when it came back there, I was just sitting there, 75s, willing to take a hit if we broke up a little bit. My stop on Disney right now is 81s.
That's very facetious of you.
Yeah, I know. So like, here's the short here, 75. My stop is right here. I put the stop in to get out at 92.81, and that stop went in at. Actually, it resets because I restarted it. But as soon as I got this in, so we've been holding this basically for 2.5 hours with a 6-cent stop, and we're now in the money 35 cents. So as the cookie crumbles, was that a call for Brendo?
It was.
Let's go.
Just a quick update, guys. It looks like Fed Chair Powell is actually wrapping up this roundtable event or discussion that they had. So he sat there for an hour and 5 minutes and is providing some, it seems like anyway, some final comments as they, right now, just wrapping this up. So that should be it, theoretically.
Okay.
It's the final countdown.
Let's go to the downside. We're not going to flush. The market's probably not going to flush as long as we're above 16,000. So we're not going to see acceleration. If that level breaks, even if it does, there's been all kinds of support, 15, 9, 8. So the 20 handles underneath that on the NASDAQ's been good. However, we're able to get this stair step down in Walmart. I tried getting rid of that. It just wants to stay. It's went to 153.5. I took some out. I'm already on the bid in front of 153 quarters, or actually underneath 153 quarters. But it's Pfizer that's getting pretty spicy in the other direction. Like that's starting to come up and test that lower high. I got some in front of 75. I don't think I want this through the low 80s. I mean, obviously Pfizer is pretty weak in here, but I didn't have the cleanest of entries there. So like, if it shows me weakness again underneath 75, maybe it's worth an add there. But this is a pretty strong market. I should have been probably short a little bit earlier at VWAP, but it's a nice consolidation down. We'll take it. Uber not doing much. Neither is Rivian. I keep forgetting to go back to Carvana. I picked the stocks we're going to be in. But if you were looking for a fade trade, now I prioritized Walmart and Pfizer. We'll see how that goes. If I had decided to fade Carvana, I mean, I'd probably be in it off the 36 high. Risk to reward, it looks fantastic up here. But I decided to go with something else. But Carvana R&R looks pretty good there if you're shorted. VWAP's a long, long way away here, to be sure. Oleg asking about HUBC. Palantir Alternative Hub Cybersecurity. I'm gonna guess not. I'm just guessing a penny stock that looks like that is probably not going to get it done. But yeah,
Blasphemy on Palantir's name.
It's up 18%.
Ain't no alternative to that. No, yeah, maybe Snowflake.
Yeah, that's
big name.
Adjacent.
I don't know. I don't know enough about Hub C. I don't know what is it.
I don't know anything. It's just a penny stock. I mean, I'm guessing not because it's a penny stock. But you made me look at it, so.
It's a cybersecurity name.
I pulled it up. I fell for it. Sometimes it happens.
Palantir. Next week. Oh, good one there. I didn't even look forward to next week. What's up to Wuko there? Saying that next week. I didn't realize we probably had this discussion with Frank. CPI and PPI. That's coming through next week. We can look at the calendar together if we did want to, but that looks like I will trust you and say that it's coming next week, CPI, PPI, so that should be interesting. Hasn't really been like super effective. So they were great trades while we were wondering where inflation's going. Now I feel like we've been sort of trending to the downside on some of those prints. And although the Fed continues to be data dependent, we'll wait to see. It's just they haven't been as dramatic as they were earlier on or midway through this year. So we'll wait to see if there is any pullbacks. I prefer to trade the TQQ or SQQ when that kind of stuff happens. So wait for us next week, and those numbers are 8:30 a.m. numbers. So they'll be hitting in the pre-market, and we'll trade them. We'll sit around and trade them. Just quickly here, we had that same move down, and look at this time at 3 o'clock. If there's nothing happening, you do have to look at stocks like Nexi and things like that, or even like a Carvana. It's just, I'm not going to throw, bad money after good. And it's just like
it's good money after bad.
Good money after bad?
Yeah,
I've already had good money.
The money you made into the bad opportunity.
Right?
Yeah, so
good money into bad. Is that what I said?
I think you said it the other way. It doesn't matter.
No, I think I said it the right way. But it doesn't matter. The idea is that we've already got the trades on today. And unless I'm trying to make something happen, although this looks actually okay up there at 36, as we've talked. Remember we talked about this level there? Actually surprised it got that high. That would have been a good short to come through again on Carvana. But otherwise, I'm kind of just sitting around and doing what I just said I was doing, averaging in, buying names that I like, buying some strength if I can see any, trying to buy dips on weakness. At the end of the day, you're kind of setting yourself up for a loss. If the market does fade out here, you're going to get punched out. So we got to take some profits as we start to go back up. So little by little here, we'll put some money out for Amazon. We'll take some money back and then see if it can climb for the rest of the day. The reason why I like Amazon right now, it's broken above the day high. It's net positive on the day. The market just turned green, I don't know, an hour ago down here when we made that move back up to the upside. So let's see if we can hold green today. We're above the 50 period or trying to get above it, hovering around it, above VWAP. I prefer the long, and I prefer the long in a stronger name, which here today is Amazon. So this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm working with. Let's see if it can work. Disney, yeah, I'm not going to show them what I'm working with. I mean, I'm not. We've already talked about the thirst trap over there. So you calm down there, Sharif. Join the podcast tomorrow where Sharif may or may not rip off his shirt live.
We should just do
on the podcast.
If we ever did karaoke,
I'm trying to get I'm trying to get like viewers up.
We should do a karaoke night.
Karaoke would be hilarious. We could do karaoke.
Dude, Sharif. First
Why,
of all,
he kills it on the show?
When Sharif enters the building every single morning, he's always singing something.
Got to be happy.
Always singing something. It's usually something from the 80s, and he puts it in everybody's head, and it's always in good fun. So if we did a karaoke night, trust me, Sharif he'd be all in.
Shout out to Ryan. He said the ripped Egyptian, but I kind of want to say like the Eruption. That was a good one. I was trying to think about what it was all about.
Just nailed it there.
That was hers. All right, so again, let's go. Let's see. This level is 14s. That's actually where I'm offering on Amazon. Well, I'm offering some 8s. That's a little stupid. I'm going to cancel that. We're at 15 actually. So we're offering up here 147.15. Let's see if we get that rip as we have some fun here on a Friday. It's 321, but we'll wait to see what's going on. Trade karaoke, that would be hilarious. All right, here we go. 147.05. Hopefully to the upside. We'll see if that goes. That's what I'm dealing with right now with Amazon. Tesla, Neil just mentioned that. The reason why I say thank God is because we got out right there. I would have hated for that to have been sort of that top, which it was temporarily. We hadn't fallen back in. Let's see if Tesla can get going back up to the upside and take out that 240. I don't know if we'll be shorting anymore. The market is trying to go. The NASDAQ's positive again. It's the first of the month, so let's wake up.
That's like another karaoke. We can't do that in karaoke. It's too hard.
No, that would be too...
Rushav just asked in the chat. He asked me, what's your go-to karaoke song? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's Rick James, Mary Jane. No question. If we do karaoke night, I'm be belting some Rick James on everybody. And trust me, I'll go all in. Get a few brews and we'll have a good time. That's for darn sure. No, we should do it. We did a bowling night. We should do karaoke. Heck of a lot of fun. I don't know what the best karaoke places are here in Toronto.
Why don't I just task you and Sharif to organize it?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right.
Fabian's already giggling over there. What, you already have a spot?
I live near.
Of course he has a spot.
The problem is you got to go to Midtown to get.
What is Midtown again?
It stops at Lawrence. This guy's north of Lawrence.
You guys are making up stuff about Midtown. I've never heard that, by the way, when he said that.
Yeah, he's a crazy guy. Brendan just has done some research for us. So just for anybody asking, CPI is the 12th. So it is not next week.
What day is that?
The 12th. I don't know what day it is, but it's...
that's 2 weeks
Tuesday, 2 Tuesdays?
Oh, I thought it was next week.
Someone said next week, so I was just talking about that quickly. All right. Let's find something to trade here. NVIDIA, I'm just looking through some of my scanners. NVIDIA crossing VWAP a minute ago, but again, like VWAP is nowhere near. Yeah, so there it is right there. Bouncing off, I guess, staying long. I don't know, flat on the day. Like this, like look, you talked about what's up to Mr. Love Shack again with his barcoding scanner. Like, look at NVIDIA right here. It's just, to me, there's just not a trade here. Like, I don't know what else to tell everybody. If there's not a trade, then there's not a trade. AMD, this is looking a little bit better for possibly breaking back down below. I don't mind the short here at all. The only problem, again, with the short is the fact that we're long. So that's a problem with the short, with my bias going towards the short.
Generally speaking, that is a problem.
So that is a problem. I'm already long Amazon right there. Let's see if Amazon works. If I get flushed out of Amazon, which is only 20 cents from now, then I will work on a better position and maybe decide to go short. But for right now, let's just hold on to this Amazon position and see if it works.
Yeah, so a couple of things here. I did just jump out of Pfizer. There you go. Pfizer, it's just still holding green. It's not like super strong, but it's strong enough. I didn't get the price off of VWAP anyway, so it was a nice little curl for a second, and looking like it's not worth holding another 10, 15 against me, so I'm just going to get out of that one. Rivian is a very slow stair step back into the upside. Ooh, I'm still missing that data even after I close my chart. So we bounced off 1780. It's struggling at 90. Thank you very much, Rivian. $18 is a big level on Rivian, so it's going to have some issues getting through that potentially with only 30 minutes to go. That is the 200 period moving average on Rivian. Actually, this was a discussion in the midday show. I like Rivian. If we can open up next week, now I'm not here on Monday and Tuesday, so this is maybe something for my personal account. If we open up taking out both of those levels, I like the notion of a swing here closing above 18.5, at least 18.25, I would think, and then see if it can't start filling in gaps. Like, this hasn't gone yet. Like, the EV names have not participated in this run. Like, you've seen the Russell go ham, you've seen the tech go ham, you've seen, I mean, everything's going nuts. But the EV names are just getting off the bottom now. If they can start to break out, specifically Rivian, I'm talking here, I think it's got some room to get into the mid-20s if it can make that break. And your risk is to $15. You hold on to a piece. I mean, somebody else has to survive, right? Like, why not Rivian? If you make a trade with the intention of, okay, I'm going to take out like 80% of it if I get 40%, and then just hold the rest to see what happens to it for Rivian. That's what's setting up there. So I'm only in Walmart and Rivian. I don't really see anything too crazy out there. Oh, Baba's over 74 again. If it wasn't, the problem with Baba is that, like, it's 326 and it's a Chinese name. Like, how much can it actually move going into the close? You never get imbalances on them. It's hard to get a big spike in the last 30 minutes sometimes on the Chinese ADRs, but it is a very good recovery on Baba. The longs you could have had at 9:30, if you were looking for them, like if you were looking for Pfizer long for some reason down there, it was actually really good. And that goes for a lot of these Chinese names.
All right. Sort of disappointed with Amazon. I just took another piece out there at 02s or whatever. It's not, the reason why I'm disappointed here, and this happened to me earlier and then Microsoft eventually went, and Microsoft is huge today for me, so it's just, Meta actually broke, like I could have gone into Meta too. Like Meta was 2 o'clock, breaking that high right there. It's not the high of the day, but even if you got into the Meta break of the high of the day, it's probably not even the high of the day. Now, the high of the day is obviously in the morning. Yeah, so we're not quite there yet. I was just thinking like this break right there, this afternoon high a little bit right into there, that would have been much better. Instead, we're sitting in this Amazon, which isn't really doing anything. That Meta is 324 basically. We ripped all the way to 325.60, so that would have been a good one. And again, just looking to see if this market's going to be weak into the close and you think that's the case, this is a good spot here for Meta to go short. You know, 325.50 right here. It's a pre-market. We had all these wicks earlier at around 10 o'clock, trying to go, fail. Low volume, high volume up here. There is going to be support here or resistance on the upside for 325.50, 326. So this is another opportunity. If you like the short, if you do get this bounce up, I could see this working. So Meta right there, possibly a short. And I just said we got a little bit more out of Amazon. Amazon's just not going right now. The story again was SpaceX and Amazon teaming up for 3 of the next flights, I guess monitoring them. I don't know, maybe something with AWS. I don't know exactly what the story is, but we looked it up. I thought that was enough of a catalyst to get going. And I think maybe it did. And there it is. It takes out, this is why it's looking a little bit different than Meta. I thought taking out this level would have possibly sparked this, but the market goes, the only thing we're sparking is something aftermarket, because this is not doing.
Word?
I'm saying what the market.
That in a while.
I'm saying what the market is saying.
Well, no, well, okay.
So I just right
I thought you were
now,
saying something else. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, to each their own. That is for sure around this place. But right here, 16,000. It didn't get going. The market may be having one of those sleepy moments right now, and unfortunately, until we get that, but we're going to get a number right now, right?
It's a wake and bake.
At 3:30, that's a good one too. Yeah, maybe we'll get a wake and bake from this number coming out here at 3:30. It's not a number; it's the early look. Yes. So Brendan will give us to us from Financial Juice what the open imbalance looks like for the close.
Yes, sir. We got a couple of super chats here that I'll get to. I'm only in the 2 positions. I'm close to reloading Walmart, but I want to see 330, some of those numbers come out. We'll get to plug in a second. The first one was the trade desk. Oh, I missed the name. It literally just disappeared. Sorry about that. But the first one was about trade desk, and then we can talk about plug. Look, TTD since earning, I mean, this has been bouncing very nicely. Where's my 200 period? I guess I have to zoom it out a little bit. When you see, and again, I always talk about setups, like what does it look like on the higher time frame? Break the low on volume, wick the bottom, hold the higher low, then try to break out. Look at it consolidate off the 200 period moving average. Now, generally speaking, what I like about that kind of a wipeout bottom climb to the upside is you're trying to get back into 80. Well, now you can close above the 50 period, or the 200 period, break the 50 period. 70 is support underneath that, and then you can hold into like 80 or maybe even the 85. So it's a very good looking potential breakout at that 50 period moving average for the trade desk. And then it was plug power. Plug has not had the power for quite some time.
Got the power.
Damn right. However, this is another. I mean, look at the double bottom on plug. Look at plug go. I want this breaking 470. Like, since it fell, this is the wipeout bottom to $3. It's got a double bottom. Next step, breakout 470. That's the setup. Stock like that, you're either taking the long off the higher low and you're already trading off the $3 level. That's nice, but that trade already happened. The other thing you can trade is this breakout at 475. There's plenty of room to the upside. It hasn't gone yet. You got to love names that are playing a little bit of catch up here into what's already been a pretty big bull run, because they'll give you the better percentage opportunities. Now, they're down there for a reason. They're not the best companies. I'm only talking about trades for all of these. Like, I
want to be in the money.
Like, I would never own Plug Power. Oddly enough, I'm going to shout out, we shout out Sharif every time Plug comes up. Sometimes the best trade you make is getting out of something and adhering to a stop. Because this was a stock that looked like it was breaking out when it was taking these levels out here back in July, stair-stepping to the upside, looking pretty strong. And then it gave up this 11 level, and look what's happened since. So you either got out when it kind of looked like it was breaking this trend in here, and if you did, congratulations. The long looked like it was setting up, but that's the thing about a trade. If it's a trade, you have to have an out. If you're making an investment, you don't have to have an out, because you might just be holding it till your retirement, or to give to your kids, or to whenever, right? But when you're making a trade, you've got to have yourself an out, and these kind of charts tell you exactly why. If it broke 470, I'd be stopping out at 450, or something along those lines. I might not, maybe not exactly 450, but you get the idea.
All right. So just in what has been a very, very boring afternoon here for me anyways, as far as market is concerned, Amazon just went to 147.05. You know, like, come on, man. Like, it's funny because Sharif's like, man, why are you looking so upset there? You're 4 cents out of the money. And I'm like, I'd rather be 4 cents in the money. And then I was 4 cents in the money, and then it just never kept going. And I don't have any offers. My offer's at 15s. Like, I'm trying to, because at this point, my stop is down here at 80s. So a break below 80, actually, now I can change this. My stop was 85's break, but now I'm going to put it in here. I'll just do it on the screen. 146, what did I say? Okay, well, I can make sure it's 146.79er there. So we'll put offer, oops, it failed because I didn't cancel my other one. See, this is what I mean. Sometimes I gotta.
Why is it even colder in here now?
146.79. Right there will be our stop, 100% of it. Sometimes we'll get out of 50%. Sometimes we'll get out of, you know, different percentage points of it. But right there, we just got more. So we just bought some more 90s there. I don't know if you guys saw that tick. So now we'll wait. You see my average price just changed to 99. It's not like I'm not loading into this. It doesn't look great. And then Brendan just gave us the sell imbalance of 594. So what we mean by that is these are the actionable events that will happen at 350. All of these market on close imbalance, all these market on close orders will become public, and we'll get the NASDAQ to join this. So, you know, yesterday we had a monster bid because it was the end of the month. There was some window dressing coming into the end of the month. The market was, okay, see, now Amazon's 3 cents in the money. But we had some window dressing at the end. Let's see if we get it here today for the close. But here we go. Amazon to the upside now. finally we can get maybe some explosion. Let's see if it happens. Amazon up to 140. Here we go. I'll get a little bit more
Here we
out here.
go.
Yeah, I know. I hate that I'm saying it. Amazon 147.08. I just put an offer. Let's see if we get that fill. Finally, upside for AMZN.
Yeah, as a Packers fan, you really shouldn't be saying it. Like, at least, I mean, they're in the NFC, man. But this is interesting because there was just a question in the chat from Riyadh in the chat asking for the outlook on Li Auto. Well, I'm not going to give you the outlook on Li Auto, but guess what?
That?
In about 25 minutes, the market's going to be closed, and then episode 3 of the podcast is going to be in. So Riyadh, usually Sharif at some point is going to opine on Li Auto. He does it like once a day. Whether it's on the list or not, you talk about it every single day, Sharif. Like today in the rundown, it was, what did it say? It says Chinese names. What did Sharif talk about? Did he talk about Alibaba? I did. Did he talk about Neo? Okay, maybe he did. I don't know. But you definitely talked about Li Auto, which is fine. And I'm not the expert on Li Auto. I can look at a chart and tell you about it, but Sharif can actually speak about its outlook. I can't talk about Li Auto's outlook. I've never really looked into the company that much, and I don't own it.
What's up, Mr.
Oh, what? I said that? Ramin just said in my ear, I said, what? I'm going to eat a pineapple pizza if Sharif does... No, that's not what I said. I said if... No. I'm not eating a pineapple pizza for that. No. I'm not saying that out loud because then you're going to try and make me eat a pineapple pizza. I never said anything about Sharif talking about Li Auto and then I have to eat a pineapple pizza. I did not say that. That's foolish because why would I say that? Then Sharif would just say it on purpose. It doesn't even make any sense.
This is between you and Ramin.
No, but that doesn't make any. You know that doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not.
Come on.
I don't know.
Like it's ridiculous.
I was thinking about
because then the power would be in his hands. It wouldn't make any sense why I would say that. So I'm not. Obviously, I didn't. I'm gonna get out of this Walmart if we break 154. I think I already said that. The market is breaking. Okay, it's not breaking higher. It's gliding higher. It's absolutely not breaking higher. This is like watching paint dry.
It's not doing anything.
We're not doing much of anything, but the third time might not be a charm with this trade. Technically speaking, it's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time we'll test 154. But I've been shorting underneath VWAP, and it just gave me the fill at VWAP here, so I'm going to have to take it out. The Boring Man pineapple with jalapeno is quite nice. I can defend that as not being as bad as a regular pineapple pizza because I have done that. Thankfully, when I was
never eat pineapple plain on.
When I was forced to do it, there was jalapenos, and it made it much nicer, to be honest. Cheech and Long, SoFi frozen at the high of the day. All right, so I have my stop out in Walmart. Let's get to some SoFi. Maybe that's actually moving a little bit more here. Nope. SoFi missing half the day, but also, oh yeah, but SoFi is at resistance. So this is the channel on SoFi. And it's trying to break the top end of this channel. This is the other name. If SoFi can close up here, open up, taking out 8 even, give it a day or two above the top of this channel, I think this can break out to $9. It has been in a very distinct channel. When a channel like that breaks, this is a popular stock. For all we know, it's the Warren. I don't know if it is, but for all we know, it is the Warren Buffett mystery stock in the financial space. If it is, that's all the more reason why it can be good. But I like these channel breaks when they happen. AMD did one recently, and it was great for a couple of days after that. So check that. SoFi, if it can break out that $8 level on Monday or Tuesday, I think it looks good. I won't be able to trade it, so I guess I'd have to do it in my personal account. But I already own shares of SoFi, so I won't. Ah, well.
Yeah, I recently bought some SoFi down there at 660, so that was a good buy.
Oh, I'm in it like not that good a price.
All right, I just want to. So Amazon went, remember, it was just at 08, and I was like, nah, we're not going to take it, and then it just fell back in again. So this trade, honestly, we'll take one more average to try to get our average price better, but it's not like we're averaging at 98. Like it's going to be a 10-cent hit here. We don't have a whole heck of a lot of shares on this name. I've pretty much lost faith in it. So if it goes back up, great. If not, I'm just holding out for maybe 350 now. maybe something will come through on it. I don't think so. Is there any other names? You know what? Snapchat's been a pretty decent one over the last little while. I did not get out of. I said I was going to get out of this yesterday. Kind of forgot. We went out for lunch, and I didn't even think about getting out of it. And then now today, it's still up another one and a bit. So that was a good one. The only thing about Snapchat here for everybody that's swing trading it or whatever you're doing with it, this is just one of those another parabolic move to the upside. Really, it hasn't gotten like overly parabolic, but there was, okay, that's pretty parabolic there to the downside. But it's just this gap right there was real nice. And then not only that, but you held the gap, like you tried. And to say you held the gap after one day is not going to be accurate, but you know, coming back into 13, let's see if we can maybe test that again. If not, maybe we do go higher. We did talk about, I think it was 17. What is this high? Yeah, so right into there, it gets at 16. So this to me now, let's just see next week, because we're up again right now on the market, right? So if the NASDAQ continues to extend through next week, Snapchat probably continues higher. I don't see the reason to go back down. So if we're still going to be bullish on the NASDAQ, then maybe this is the next area coming through, 1550 something. So we'll have to watch out for that one more time in Snapchat. So okay, that's that kind of a play. And video, we've talked about it. The only stock that we're red on pending Amazon here, I guess, is AMD, and it was a short. So it was right into there. We shorted again. Remember why we're short some of these names? Like this just came right into the pre-market levels. We were able to take a little bit of profit before it blew higher. And then look at this top. The top of AMD held all day. So that's pretty interesting there as well. So 121.50, if the market rallies in the next 20 minutes, that could be a level where AMD gets to, 121.50. So I'm going to still sit here in this stupid Amazon and see what we can do. Possibly getting out. Let's get out of 25% for flat. A little bit less than that. Let's get out of about 15% for flat if it gets back up to 97, 98. Other than that, I feel like we're a dead duck in this Amazon, and I don't apologize for it.
The market's a dead duck.
Yeah, I like the trade. It's just, it's not doing anything.
Well, look at the NASDAQ, right? Here we go. Look at the NASDAQ for the last couple of hours. I mean, you've had a 10-point range for the most part where you're testing a lower high and maybe you can scalp something out. You had to find something that was going to go more. That's why I tried Pfizer, because it was in play. That's why I went to Rivian. I probably should have gone to Carvana the more I think about it. There was a question about looking at Nintendo. All I will say is Nintendo has never really been looked appealing to me as like a trading stock for obvious reasons. It doesn't really move that much. Yes, that looks pretty strong, and yes, it looks like it might be breaking out on the daily. But when you see something like this, you're probably better off playing off of support than trying to catch breaks, because it's not going anywhere. So when you play off support, you can have a really, really tight window with a small loss opportunity to try and get one of those lows. Then you can hold it into the high. But that's really not moving, that Nintendo. Here comes Walmart, about to take out the top here at 154. Wait for Walmart if it closes above the 200-period moving average, which it still has a fighting chance to be able to do. But the last short is going to end up taking a hit for me. Elon saying Dell is dumping. I thought Dell had a huge recovery today. No, it's not. It's literally at the high of the day, Elon. Or maybe he thinks it's going to dump. That's 1, 2, 3 times it's tested the 73. I mean, if you're shorting off this high, you're risking 15, 20 cents. It's just, do you really want to take that shot at it this late in the day? It's really not moving. And Dell's been strong all day long. I don't know. It's definitely not tanking right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think maybe he's trying to get at that. He thinks it could potentially tank.
Could.
All right, so look, guys, honestly, here we go. Oh, stupid. Stop saying that.
Now you just...
It's just, this is going to tank. I don't know if it's going to tank or not, but like we just took some out there at 90, and then that is 86 or 87. We're right here right now. Getting some out of this. It's not looking like it wants to go. And, you know, to take a 20-cent hit for no reason, might as well take a 10-cent hit. So we're slowly starting to get out of this one. We still have a position, obviously, but it looks like it wants to go lower. Get some out if it does pump up. The NASDAQ's not doing a damn thing, so let's go over and handle some business in the meantime.
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
I can't get here we
Say,
go.
here we go.
It's ridiculous. So Rivian just broke 18. Elon, I'm trailing this through 18 even. We got like 15 minutes to go in the day and 5 minutes till the imbalances. If it holds 18, I hold it till 355. If it doesn't, then I just get out at like 99. But let's see how far this can go. It's like I'm like from 11 o'clock to like 12:30 on some of these charts. Anyways, Rivian is in the midst of a mini breakout today. For a stock up 8%, it doesn't really look like it's done much of anything, which should be exciting, right? I'm not saying it's going to do what Affirm did or any of those other names, but all of these beaten up stocks, it started out pretty modestly, right? Like Affirm was weak, wedging to the downside, then it had one breakout day, and all it did was consolidate, then break out again, right? So I'm not saying Rivian will do the same thing. However, it's not that dissimilar in terms of what the chart looks like. And the first step is a big up day, maybe breaking out the 19 next week. The 20 level is a bigger breakout, obviously. It's 20, it's this level here. But if it's going to trend up, you know, it's one big green day. Above 18, I'll be looking long for at least a couple of days. On Rivian, let's see what can happen. Good luck, Elon says. CCL, steady all day. JP Suede. It's been a while since we've looked at CCL. I can't remember the last time we looked at this stock. Probably on earnings, to be honest with you, because that's when we usually do, and that has been a really good run on CCL. This is doing that thing. That'd be nice. There's a 50 and 200 taken out. It's now breaking out 15, which at some point I really like this 15 level enough to draw a line there. So consolidation break above. I like it. I'm not trading it now because it's 345, but this has been a good one. That 15 level was so good. And then look at the breakout today. Look at the break. Breaks the week's high, dips back into the previous resistance, and then off to the races. Previous resistance turning into support is one of the most simple setups you can do. Why? Because it's already a strong stock. The whole premise is you're buying a dip into a strong stock, so A, you're joining the trend, and then B, you're looking for confirmation at a key level, which is easy to find on the chart. Like, that's not that hard to figure it out. And then you grab along in here, you stop it out there, and then Bob's your uncle, or whatever phrase you want to throw in there.
Yeah, Dizzy's making a little bit of a move back up there. We got out of our Amazon. We got some more 90 prints on Amazon before it eventually broke 8. See, there it is right there. We got a couple, as we were explaining some of our outs, we got some more outs there. But it is a fail, so we'll have, that's going to be our second red name today, which is fine there for Amazon. And again, we kept on telling you it wasn't going to be a big position or anything like that. It wound up being more shares because we averaged in, but that's why we wound up taking some out at those levels, and unfortunately there it goes down. So we will flush ourselves down the toilet. It's not huge. Like, I gave back about 15% or so of the day. So I mean, maybe that's too much. I don't know, but I like the opportunity. And like I said, I'm not going to trade scared. I thought it was going to go. I liked the story. I liked it. So I'm not going to back away from that trade. The one thing that is going to happen though, look at Tesla. It got to 239. I'm still waiting for a 240 print. We're just minutes away until these imbalances come through again as we just continue to look for different opportunities. Alibaba, maybe. It's just like, wow, what a recovery. I know we talked about this already. Walmart. By the way, why didn't we look at this today more? Because Airbnb, like on the daily, they didn't report or anything. Like, what is the, yeah, like it just came out of nowhere. Like, see, it was like, this is kind of what I'm saying about Airbnb. I kind of like this trade because right into there, yeah, ABNB, hold on a second. You got this garbage here, and then get that garbage out of here, and then more right there, get that out of here again, and now you're starting to go back up to the upside. So what was the news here on Airbnb? I could click on this. I don't know where it's going to take me. Up 9.4% since its earnings report. When was its earnings report? November 1. Okay, so all right, investing.com Canada. I'll read what was all about this here today, as we will find out. Something about Grant, all this ad blocker stuff. I'm not going to show it up.
Apparently, there's been some. I don't know. I see something.
Policy decitions.
I'm looking at Benzinga. They have a story from midday today talking about big players' recent trades in Airbnb bullish in options. Yeah, so apparently some big options bets is what the Benzinga story is saying.
Federal Reserve has been.
I guess there's not much of a story. Just for some housekeeping is what I wanted to say. Rivian was going, and then it failed that 18. So I just got out at 99s. So there was a question asked, why in Rivian? Because the trend is to the upside. And if anything, when I see something like this, the question shouldn't be why go long Rivian. It should be why only long here and here? Why not long there off of this level? Why not long there off of this level? That's the question you ask when a stock is. It already showed you the breakout. It broke back above 17. 17 is the key level. Once it's above, look long. First dip, previous resistance, go long. Second dip, not really a great level, but it ended up working anyways. This was a better level. This was the best level probably to go off of this like 17.5 and then enter into that long. It broke another high. You take the dip into that previous high. Stair step to the upside. It's a pretty simple pattern because you're just following the trend all the way to the upside. And you know what stock is really good when it does this? Specifically, like Palantir. When Palantir does the stair step to the upside, it's one of the better trending type stocks when you trade it. But if you can find the stairs up, you might as well take them for as long as they'll ride the train to the upside. It's better than it's better than trying to find the short at the high of the day. That's all.
Okay, so the imbalances are now out.
Yep.
So let's wait to see what is going on with this one, TLT Gold. Amazon just ripped again into 147 almost and then faded out. So we'll get this number from Brendo in a second, whatever it is. All right, TLT Gold, Intel with a sell. Gold with a sell. Shout out to Michael Noss. TLT, obviously, that's a 20-year treasury.
Gold.
Enbridge, shout out to my Canadian account. Enbridge downside. Amazon, there's the sell for Amazon, right? So it's like, no wonder, honestly, middle fingers, because like it didn't do anything, but it's this pressure. Like, people know about these things ahead of time. I honestly, if anybody has like an imbalanced feed, we only have the broker feed for New York. Like, if you know about any of these things on Amazon or NASDAQ names, like this Apple buy here.
There used to be, and
Someone said it was TD Ameritrade.
This is years ago, because we used to actually have a few, we used to have some sources where you'd get some potential early looks before 3:30. And they had some value in there every now and then, especially if you were trading the name, you'd want to know. And it was just, because closing orders go into the NYSE and NASDAQ auction books all day long.
Right.
So like they're building the entire day. Like it's out there, that information. Sometimes you can get it, sometimes you can't. Well, there was something else I was going to say. The overall imbalance is 240 million to the buy side.
That's it? Well, I thought it would have been a lot different than that.
Yeah, it's a little surprising. Sometimes after like the first of the month, you might get bigger imbalances, and you have a few names in there, but Uber's a 1 million buy. That's one that kind of stands out a little bit. You know Uber, which is weird because Uber's actually going into support. So this was another stair step up where the third time actually was a loss. Right? So we took the stairs up much too late on Uber. You could have been long this on every single, look at how many times you could have been buying dips in this stock. I was taking a break there and a consolidation there. Third time wasn't a charm, but a buy and balance and the stock's falling in on Uber. That said, at any moment, or the speculation was that we could have heard it today, that Uber officially is going to be in the S&P 500, and then what date that's actually going to happen. We haven't actually heard that news, but it's just a matter of time. Uber is too big of a company. It's an important company. It's now eligible. It's going in. Like, if the speculation is that it's going in and the price action is like this for the last month, it's going into the S&P 500. Like, I don't think the people that have been buying it up are that wrong about what's going to happen here and what the catalyst has been. It's a good company. It was going up for other reasons, but these guys will be in that S&P 500, and I cannot wait to be able to trade that day. Whether or not it's going to be gigantic in terms of movement, I promise you we're going to see a huge imbalance and at least have an opportunity to do something in the final 15 minutes whenever this does get added to that S&P. We got 7 minutes to go here. I'm not going to make any more trades. Trader forever, almost 3% for IWM.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's been going, baby. I just heard Sharif go, it's nuts. Maybe they'll talk about that in the podcast today. Yeah, it's above the 200. It's huge.
So there is, just want to remind everybody, there is no live stream after this. So we're going to do the podcast. It's going to go live tomorrow around 9:30. So check all your popular podcast providers for that. And that should be real fun. But the IWN should surprise nobody that watches me every single night, because honestly, we've been talking about the Russell for a very, very long time. Some very, very key levels came into play there, down at 160. You can zoom this back out or whatever you want. If you're not Honestly, we talk about traders staying late. If you're not staying late, it stops at 4:30. It's the market recap show. We've been talking, like, look at this. We got into IWM. Like, we've been talking about these small cap stocks. We talked about this with Michael Noss, with Brian Shannon, with JC Peretz, who, by the way, just messaged me. I'm going to find out what's going on with that. All this kind of stuff, man, back and forth. And it's just like, this was a great opportunity. We talked about the complete change. And I've already sent out the bat call, whatever, the light, already flat. Bat signal, thank you. Already flashed in the Katina household about a month and a half ago. As soon as we heard about the rates, everything changing, as soon as that CME rate tool flipped over the other way, it was a buy. And some of these lower, cap names, small cap, medium cap names that are in the Russell 2000, they need lower rates. And that was a big bonus right there. Obviously up 3% today. I mean, that's an outsized move. So
that's an outlier.
It's a big time outlier, needless to say. So I would just say, be careful with that kind of stuff. But there's no surprise there to me when this is running higher. Again, averaging into it, it's not like a rocket science trade at all for me. Just a long-term position. There's Disney. Disney went like this. This is why 350 is so important. Like Disney was kind of going up, 350 hits, and then whoop, all the way to the downside. So there must have been a sell imbalance on it. We cover our position, and then we do this for Disney today because it is another good stock for us. We have 2 red names today, and if they start with an A, they're red for me today. It's going to be Amazon and AMD, that's it. It's going to be Disney, Microsoft, Pfizer, and Tesla, all bangers. So I hope you enjoyed the show. 4 minutes left.
4 minutes to go. Apple stayed is 900,000 to buy. I mean, 355 usually things pair off. TLT stayed is $1 million to buy. But most things paired off. Amazon obviously paired off. Uber looks like, I didn't see Uber. That must have paired off as well. It's still heading to the downside there. I thought maybe there'd be a little eensy-weensy bounce there on Uber, but nothing going. For the first time today, I'm pulling up an Apple chart. I cannot remember the last time I didn't look at Apple at any point today, which is weird, but Apple being up a little bit better than the market and back above the 191, I think that's a pretty decent sign overall for things. Oh, thank you, chart. But Apple's going to end up closing. It doesn't quite break out the 192. Now, I'm not here next week, but Apple, if this gets back above 192 and starts taking out some of these highs, that would be complete and utter insanity if it makes a run at that July top. So Apple was trying to pull back. Apologies for these wicks on the daily chart. It's kind of nuts. But you can kind of see here. If it breaks this 192 and starts to get some oomph under it, there's so much more that this market can do. Rivian, we already talked about that one for the relative strength that it's showing. But it's not the only EV name which attempted to bounce. However, I was meaning to say Lucid was looking really good today. I was going to talk about this in the afternoon show because Lucid was threatening a breakout on its own. And then Lucid just, I don't know what happened at 4:50, not the time, but it was 1 o'clock. And Lucid just went into a bit of a tailspin at 1 o'clock. I don't know what it was. But this was screaming into a breakout of the high, and it's got a good short flow. So for whatever reason, Lucid had the air come out of it in the afternoon. This would be another potential candidate for a big breakout trade. You saw Fisker have a good run today. You saw Rivian have a good run today. Lucid was having a good day until running into a brick wall. Or just some sellers. Like somebody came in there and was like, I'm getting the heck out of Dodge when this thing goes up 10%, which does happen on beaten up names. You already talked about Tesla. It's back at that 239. I think that one looks pretty good. And one last one for you because we've been ignoring it all afternoon because we're not really trading it. UiPath in the 27% move. It's going to close holding $25 and holding this breakout. Squeezes kind of starts this way. If the short interest was 20%, not 9, I'd be thinking this had a follow through at least to like 31, 32. But it's only 9%. The other one that has got to be on the radar is I don't know when it's going to dip, but Affirm is due for, like, there is going to be some kind of a good dip in Affirm, and it's so close to this $40 level. I mean, everybody's going to be looking at $40 for a pullback on Affirm, but it doesn't mean you don't look at it. Like, that's way too big of a level. Another 9.5% today in what has already been a double up in the last month or so for Affirm. So a great run, but that 40 should pose a challenge for Affirm.
Real quickly here, I mean, Affirm's been such a rocket. I mean, Upstart, Affirm, all those sort of names. Here's a name that's going to be a lot different than these other names. This name is Making Money. It's something that everyone's heard of. And you know what? This is just giving me a little bit of a reminder here because my kid yesterday, although he's turning 12 soon, he's like, Grand Theft Auto 6, GTA 6 coming out soon. He was really hyped about the release of a new trailer today or something like that. So I just want to say Take-Two, you know, if GTA 6 has been in the making for like 12 years or something like that, like when that comes out, I think it's going to be a monster. So I would just say watch out for Take-Two, possibly as a new swing trade idea, breaking above this 155. I just looked at it for the first time today. I would have preferred it to be in this area, but this is another thing that I wanted to look at. Again, sometimes these kids just can make these picks, man, and Take-Two, nice move upside. When he was on the show, he recommended Microsoft, and it was at 230. Okay, what's up, Adara, over there at the bell with only now 10 seconds left, right in front of the Trader TV Live sign. I like that.
There we go.
Only 4 seconds now. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go.
Here we go.
All right. I never, ever, ever get to close the show anymore, which is probably a good thing. We do have the market recap show back on Monday. For right now, we're going to go dark. We're going to film the podcast.
Yes.
And then we're going dark so that everyone can tune in tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Check your local podcast provider and fingers crossed,
Spotify, whatever.
it'll be there.
It's there.
And if it's not there, find it somewhere else, and it'll be around. So we're really excited for that one. Pretty good day overall, man. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button.
Lots of fun here today, and it's been a fun week as well. Shout out to everybody, obviously Fabian and Ramin. You know Sharif is going to be doing the pod, and he'll kick butt. I'm hoping to be able to visit Michael.
Go and take some pictures.
I just shortened my trip. You know why?
You're there until what day, though?
I'm coming back late Monday.
Okay, so
I have a late flight on Monday, but I'm not actually getting out there till tomorrow night.
Right.
I'm really not getting. I'm getting like a day and a half all told, but I'm planning on having some drinks with Michael, and hopefully that should be some fun there.
Remember, he never leaves his house, so you might have to go there.
Seriously?
Remember when he was in Vegas and we were like, oh, how fun was Vegas? And he's like, oh, I didn't leave the hotel?
He'd take me to a pub and come to his.
I would expect so. I'm just playing around.
I'm visiting my brother. That's the reason for it. But yeah, it's going to be an absolute blast. Shout out to obviously Adara as well. Enjoy it all. Oh, I forgot to mention, I got my raffle tickets from. So you didn't tell us. You didn't say anything about Gia's raffle. 50-50.
No, I'm not going to say it to everybody.
Oh, that's fine. However, I'm already boasting this because Gia's team had a 50-50 raffle, and I bought tickets in it, and I've already declared I'm going to win.
I was going to say, you're acting as if it's been drawn already.
I'm not making this up. I have really, really good luck when I do these 50-50 raffle, whether it's at like a Stag and Doe. I have a really good track record with these things. So
and
when
your brother
I win,
is an animator. People are asking if he's a doctor. I don't know.
Oh no, my brother is he's an animator. He's done like kids TV shows and kids movies. If anyone knows Inspector Gadget, the new Inspector Gadget, he worked on that. Bo on the Go, it's a Canadian show. They did like a Christmas movie last year. So, and he's a salsa instructor. Well, he was a salsa instructor. He rock climbs, and he's 6'3". I'm just throwing it all out there. And he's better looking than me, so he's got it all going on. But now we're running on here a little bit too long there, Sean, so let's close it out.
All right, thank you so much to everybody. Again, we didn't say enough. We didn't say thank you to Kat, so thank you to Kat. Thank you to Rob, to Randy, to everybody that's helping us. Shout out to Ramin. Shout out to everybody. Can we get an hola, Kat? There we go. We got an hola right there from everybody. So, hey, from everybody here, good week. Have fun. Have lots of fun there in Halifax. All right, for Neil and myself, that's a wrap, guys. Oh, we had the wrap this week. We had the Spotify wrap. But okay, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck to everybody this weekend. Have fun with your family. And we're going dark. Find the podcast tomorrow at 9:30. Ciao.